God, it's like we're in, it's like we're back in Dune. The hell of a song that is. Hello. I've made it. As you can hear by my voice, I've been in a lot of meetings today. It's been a bit of an ordeal. I made it. We have drawn one of the many clans of pandas in our siege. As you can see, we're working our way through it. Hey, shooter. You spent the last two... Yeah. Chloe, what did I keep telling you? Throne and Liberty. We need to find a solution to this problem. No, that's alright. I'll take the third one. The man has got way too many accounts. Honestly. Like... He's had to numerically order his accounts. He's got too many of them. I'm concerned. I need to speak to Panda about this. This is crazy. How many he's got? It's like 22, 17. They're just in numbers. Yeah, I've seen your DM. I'll check it now. So... The PS5, yes! That's what I'm talking about. Oh, you want me to RP? Oh, God. It's very good, Swift Cut. It's very good. You did forget, but it's okay. It put a defense up, so I think we're all right, shooter. It was fine. I did. I mentioned it anyway that you were. I knew you were busy. I knew you were traveling, so it's not a problem. Yeah, the cat was getting fed. But yeah, all numbers, look at them. The 5th account, the 6th account, the 4th account. I mean, I don't understand. Like, there's so many of them. Crazy. We're starting to see now. It's getting fed. We're starting to see a lot more restrictions. Like, I'm starting to see these used a lot more. I think just because people are getting a lot of these mana orbs. Like, we're starting to see some of them. Some of them work, some of them don't, to be honest. I'm not sold on them. So yeah, but I feel like sometimes the restrictions just kind of bait you into a reality. Like, you absolutely need to know that you've got the best team. It's alright, Ace. I've only just gone live. You haven't missed anything. Like, you need to know you're going to win, because otherwise, like, you put restrictions up and you just lose, right? One of these had like this. Post 7, all champions are immune to turn meter fill. Just got beaten by Gizmac, you know? It's like, you need to know that these restrictions are going to actually make a difference, because so far they're not. And I suppose it's not that they're a waste. I just look at it sometimes and I'm like, unless you're confident that you can get some sort of edge case to it, I feel like they're just wasting. You're just not gaining anything from it. Oh, these teams are a bit tricky. This one's alright. It might do, yeah. Sometimes, like, there are edge cases. Like, the support mythical builds, that's quite strong. When it's like, you can only use supports and they put all the support mythicals, but you've got, like, Siegfried in there. That is quite strong. Those teams are very strong, but not all of them, basically. I think some of them are a bit of a... Oh, now we're going to play this game. I just think, like, I tried to do it once and I just baited myself, basically. I baited myself thinking I could get someone I couldn't. Nice. Got to do tailies and then we'll decide what we're doing. So to break down Odin, I'm on the fence. The reason why I'm saying, like, do I want a whale? I kind of want a whale for a video, but I could always make this like, you know, I could always take the VOD and make it into a video, I suppose. But I want to actually break down the odds, right? The odds of how this works, because it's a bit confusing to some people. So the way that it works is when you have these highlight champions, okay? The highlight champion here. Let me bring it out for this a second. Hello, cat. What can I do for you? Yes, the tea is still hot. You can't have it right now. I know you want it later, but you can't have it right now. So when you've got this highlight headline champion, what does it mean? So it basically means that of the 6% legendary rate you've got, you have a 1.5% chance it's going to be the headline champion. That's it on its basic level. So what that basically means is when I'm summoning these shards, I have a 1.5% chance it's going to be Odin. So to work out the math is pretty straightforward. You go, okay, well, how many times on average do I need to pull to get 1.5%? Well, that's going to basically be 66.67 pulls. Now, the unique thing about the summoning portal for prisms is this number always changes, whether it's 40, 50, 45, 35, 25. It's 40 at the moment. So if I need 60.67 times 40, I need on average around about 2,668. It's about 2,666 prisms, right? This is like the best pack, to be honest. These large crystals, these are the best pack. But you are limited per day, okay? But, I mean, you should be limited per day based on how much this costs. But this gives you 210. So the way you can work this out is, okay, well, 210 divided by 40, that's going to give me 5.25 summons, okay? I need 66. So how much do I need to get? Well, I need to buy 12.6 of those on average, which means 12.6 of those at $50 is $630. Okay? So the mean average to get this is $630. The mean average. And I'm not talking about mercies, I'm just talking about what's the probability that I will get Odin. Like, how many times do I have to pull it before I've, on average, got Odin? Now, I will say, the headline champion is a majorly good update. And the reason why I say that, when it used to be 6%, well, actually, it was like, okay, well, I got a 6% chance. So how many times do I need to pull to get a champion? Well, that would be 16 pulls, right? On average, the mercy is irrelevant because on average, you will get 16. You'll get a legendary every 16, okay? That's the mean average for legendary rate. But the old system, they'd put 8 legendaries. So it's like, well, actually, okay, I've got 16, but it's like now I have to divide the 16 against one of them, right? So if there's 8, that means there's a let's see, there's like, to get one of them, it would be a 0.125. So I need to then roll the 0.06 times 0.025, right? Because it's a, let me get that right. 1 divided by 8, it's a 12%, right? So it's 0.125 times 0.06. So it's actually 0.0075 to get 1, okay? So what that means is if I want to do it in the old system, then it's about 133 pulls, right? If I want one specific champion out of a 6% pool, it's 133. So the headline champion effectively halved the amount of prisms you need to do to get the headline champion. So the headline champion is good. That being said, it's still $600 odd dollars on average. So you got to make that judgment call, you know? But that's the way to do these headline rolls, is you basically go, what is 1.5%? Okay, it's not like 1.5% of 6%, it's just 1.5%. 66 pulls, 66 divided by 40, divided by this, boom, $600. So, yeah. Basically, if they, no, I wouldn't buy it for $600, right? That's the thing. Now, the other interesting thing I always say about prisms are the epic pool, because this is the most efficient way for you to be able to get plus 4 epics. The most efficient way. Because the epic pool's quite big, right? It's taken me a long time to even get plus 1, plus 2 whispers. So if I want a plus 4 Creodon, or I really want a plus 4 Ugo, or I really want a plus 4 Deacon or Stag Knight, this system is really good for it. You will get there pretty quickly if you're trying to chase the legendary. But yeah. Now, the reason why this is kind of annoying, because they put the headline champion at 1.5%. So the impact of dropping the headline champion from 2% to 1.5 is effectively adding an extra 16 pulls, okay? So we know 16 times 40, that's like 640 prisms, 640 divided by 210. It's effectively adding $150, right? 0.5% is about $150 extra. Extra. Hey, YST. You know, and obviously if they reduce the prisms down to 35, well, 210 into 35 is actually 6 pulls. So you get a lot less, because if I need 66.67 divided by 6, I only need 11 of those packs. So dropping this down by 5 buys me 1 less of those packs. So it's effectively interesting ways. They've actually made a better system with the headline champion. So if you really want Odin, it's a pretty good way of doing it. Right, it's a pretty good way of doing it, but it's expensive. You can get more Manzes. I mean, you know. So yeah, obviously I'm kind of like trickling away at the dungeon divers. I'm just doing the event dungeon. I might go and get that. They added another one into the soul chase as well, but that's actually quite hard to get. 975 is very difficult to get when you haven't got many soul stones, right? Because I traded most of mine in for different things, so I only got 1. And I've had to exchange a lot of coins recently for various different ascending purposes and awakening purposes, so I can convert it up there, so we'll see. I don't know. I kind of want to do it, but I kind of want to do it for a video, so I don't know whether or not to do it on stream and then make a video out of it, or, you know. So, I don't know. Will it be a champion chase on Friday? Yeah, probably. Look how free to play I've been. I haven't spent a lot of money lately. So... I need to do some of this. I can obviously go get a mythical if I just spent some time to actually build these champions. Like, look at them, they're all empty. They've run out of gear, bless them. Venomage is fine, but these Brognies could do with... which one have I got? Aggressive Brogni. Could do with boots. Speed. Crit rate. Crit damage. Ooh, what are we holding on to that for? Where do I use Odin? I mean, he's one of the best champions in the game. Odin is phenomenal, honestly. He's so good. I would use Odin in so many different places. I actually want to try out different things in Clan Boss with him. Just bring back the good old days, you know? It's been a minute. She's fine. Try it. Yeah, he's really, really strong. People don't I think people underestimate how it works. He's incredibly strong. Like, I mean, basically in Hydra, he does maximum HP damage with literally no stat requirement needs. If you think about it. he will always hit enemy max HP cap without needing any crit rate or crit damage. Why? Because he does 10% of the enemy's max HP true damage. So in the new era of like Hydra max HP, he's the best max HP champion in the game. In the absolute game. There's no one that can match him in Hydra because he doesn't require any stats whatsoever. Now you might argue, okay, well he only does it to one single target, but I mean, let's face it, he just does it without any stats requirements at all. Oh, did not work. Ow. Kind of getting blasted a little bit here. Let's get a shield on the go. Oh, well. Ogo's dead. He's about to be dead. Can we carry it through to the end? This is why I didn't do this wave, because I got frustrated with how long things are taking. Can we not? Wow, can we just not die? Alright. Of course we weak hit. Weak hit, of course we did. Okay. Oh, she's holding on for dear life. Oh, it goes down. Man, I hate affinity issues. Like, if you think about Odin, he can be built full support and he will do permanently true, like crazy amounts of damage. Oh, don't die. He sucks because he's all weak affinity. There we go. Okay, what have we got in this wave? Damn affinity, honestly. Will she be able to do this? I don't think she will be able to. I think she's too weak. I lost too much damage on... Yeah, I just lost too much damage on wave 2. This floor is annoying as hell. It really is. An annoying floor. What's the cooldown of that? We're just going to have to hold the stun. We'll need it for wave 2. Made a mistake. I should have run the shield. Made a mistake. Should have run the shield. It's annoying, this floor. It's easy to do. I've got the team to do it. It's just annoying because I'm annoyed by it all. The buff strip me probably in a moment, and then put debuffs and yes. Game. Man, I can't even do that. I have to bear the stun and just control it. Alright, let's just slow it down because I have to wait 5 turns to get my stun back. I haven't pulled anything yet, no. Like I said, I kind of want to do it, but I kind of don't want to, you know. It's fine. It's not impossible. My just not just built, right? That's the difference. It's just not built, so. And wave 1 can be a bit annoying just because you get pumped with a lot of freezes, but I'm trying to basically not use cooldowns so I can get back around to his cooldowns. I don't want to lose her. Might lose. Might be alright. Nah, lost her go. Just takes so much damage that I end up, because it's not booked. Try one more time. Or maybe I just save the stun for wave 2. Boost. That. Get shield up. Throw that out. Throw that out. So we don't take, as long as we don't take a decreased defense, we're okay. Can't strip the shields. That's fine. We hold that back. Ow. Ogo's taking an absolute hammering. Just, like, I can't keep up with the damage output. It sucks. Speeds. It would help if my Bus Arthur was booked, which he's not, of course. Freeze. Oh. Like, you don't hit my. You're dead. Cute. Okay, great. War provoked. That's fun. Ow. Shield up. Man. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Annoying as hell. It's fine. Let's get a strengthen on the go then. Problem is, you're just going to strip the strengthen, so it doesn't really help. So that strengthen helps me absolutely not at all. Then we take a hammer. Then we take another hammer in probably. Oh, we can get rid of that. Right, that's nice. We get provoked. Hopefully we don't take too much damage from... Oh, see, even with decreased crit rate, she still crits because of the stupid weak affinity problem. Right. Can we not, please? Can we not? Right, okay, cool. So, now we go speed. We get stun. Increase defense. All the weak affinity failing. Okay, no more you. That's good. Nice. Now, let's get rid of you. Lovely. It's doable. Don't get me wrong. It's just because I'm trying to brute force it without proper built champions. It's just annoying. And we'll take all burns, which is fine. We can put a shield up to keep us alive for a bit. We're going to need this. Double weak hit. Love it. At least we got a stun back in a moment. Oh, it's like... It's just going to take forever to kill these guys. Everything is weak hit. Right, that wasn't a weak hit. That was pretty good. Okay, nice. Boost. Stun. Shield. AoE. Block buffs. Should be fine now. This is much easier when this wave is like this. Easy. Just gotta survive the nuke at the first wave. It's just so much damage, and then if the burns get on top of you, just take lots of incidental damage. It's annoying. And then we're now into the weak affinity. Like, this is the thing. Like, now it's just like, why are these things alive? Weak affinity. There's no point putting buffs because it can't. It's got block buffs. Nice. Shield. Died. Brogni shield is so good for this as well. Boom. What do we got going on here? Oh god. Wait, can I just kill it with Teox? Maybe I can just kill it with Teox. Oh, well, you can come out. You can come in. It's an improvement. That was stupid. Let's restart, because that was stupid. Oh yeah, I remember this. I'm basically one crit away from it being disaster. Okay, well, the only good news is we can activate burn, so this should not be too bad. Good old Sulfurion. I think I did that wrong turn, though. Like, it's a bit borderline. To keep him alive, I have to actually absolutely heal him to the peak of his HP. Done. Done. I did his A2 too early, but it's alright. Weak hit. Burn. Restore the max HP. Do that. Full heal. Should be fine. It's just a bit of a slow burn, literally. A very slow burn. It's always nice that they put like the most annoying boss as the gatekeeper for Soulcross as well, right? I do have Teox, but like I don't know if Teox actually works with this, so I could just throw Teox in, of course, but I don't need to really. Shield up. Oh, look how close it was. That's the only thing that you got to watch with this. It's very close to failure. It's a bit awkward. It's very close to failure that time. You basically, like, I've got a Rogrim in curing set, so Rogrim will keep himself alive, but he's gonna cure any excess max HP that I've lost to keep him alive. It's very close. It's normally okay. I just have to make sure I fully heal before the next step, like before it's one more turn. Now I have to make sure I fully heal, right? Which is normally done with Arogrim's A2 here. Look, I'll fully heal him up. Just make sure topped up. And then it should be okay. See? As long as it's full healed, we're alright. Burn. Max HP. Poisons. Boom. Oh, this will work. Don't worry. This will be simple. Just living on the edge of my seat, you know? That's what I do. Yeah, my Pythian's fully geared, but he's built in high resistance, so a lot of the excess HP is put into resistance, so... do you have any idea at what point is decided what head respawns to maximize torment uptime using Shamael? It's totally random. The head that comes back is a random pick from all of them. It is totally random. Oh. He doesn't have enough actually to place debuffs. Oh, I should have used A2. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. An absolute idiot. God damn it. I could have had an extra activation there. Have I tested? I don't have access to any tests. No. I don't have access to the test service. I can't. Yeah, there'll be a big thing coming in at the end of the month. It's Halloween, so we'll have a new Halloween fusion. The Asgard event is coming over. I mean, they've said they'll do more event dungeons, so I'll be curious to see what they do. Like, what happens to Pinpoint after this? Does it go back into just like you can't ever get it, or does it come back in the new event dungeon? Are new event dungeons always Pinpoint? Don't know. Oh damn, I should have used my A2 there. It's probably okay. Might be okay. Oh, I forgot to use my A2 at the right time. Oh, I just used my A2 at the wrong time. I wasn't paying attention. Oh. I didn't cleanse the heal. I didn't cleanse the heal at the right time. I made a mistake. I forgot to use A2, which meant that Arogrim didn't get back round. I wonder if actually if Arogrim's got all gear. Oh, he's lost his banner, that's why. Hey, John. All right, let's just try that again, shall we? It won't respawn a head that is already out there, but it will pick the random heads that are not out there. Why is it now failing when it wasn't before? Can we... Thank you. I sped run Marius, so every single time I had to do the essence, I bought all the keys every day. It was a lot of gems. Will there be an update for the optimizer also? Yeah, obviously when the patch goes live, we'll have to update everything. We talked about what we're going to do about save teams, and I'm waiting to see what the coded implications of the update is going to be. And what we don't want to do is just like archive all the teams and then you go to Hydra team suggestions and there's nothing there. That would be pretty bad. What we will probably do is either do some sort of filter in the short term. We'll probably hide it, you know? Okay, cat. What? Okay, the cat's up. She's causing mischief. Keeping mischief and drama, yeah. Mischief and drama. Wixwell CB teams. Yeah, that's what we need to look. I mean, I don't want to just cull everything, but in my head, I'm like, all the damage. Honestly, with Hydra, I feel like every single Hydra team is going to get impacted in one way, right? Either the damage is lower, but it still works, or the team just doesn't work. So we will absolutely do some sort of cleanse. We just haven't quite decided when we will do it and how far we will go just yet. We will do it once it seems appropriate. We don't want to just empty all of Hydra teams, because even though the damage is lower, doesn't mean it can't conceptually work. It could still work in a certain way, right? But obviously what we don't want to do is say, hey, this team can do like 100 million damage, and it can't do 100 million damage. So I think a lot of people will realize that the easy clan boss teams are not going to work anymore. So you're gonna have to, like, what they've done is actually quite good, and it's kind of in line with what I said they should do, which is still make it so that the team can work, because technically the team still works. So what I mean by that is the team is still capable of one keying. You just have to build around it. So it's not really an issue. Like, people are saying, oh, my Wixwell's dead. What's the point with Wixwell? Those people are the ones that just didn't want to try. If you build a proper team and you build them correctly, you can still do a one key team with Wixwell in Clan Boss, I think. I don't see there being a problem there. The ones that will be affected are the ones that just basically put a level 50 Geomancer in and thought they could one key. Well, I mean, that shouldn't be the case, right? You shouldn't get that much of an autocomplete. What? Don't you meow at me, yeah? The thing about Geomancer team is if you don't build damage into it, it kind of depends on the damage output of the boss. Now, I'm not saying it can't work. What I mean by, like, if you build a strong Wixwell and you build your team to survive, then obviously you will hit 1 key. You're not going to last 1500 turns, which you should never have been able to do anyway. That was stupid. But it will be better than before. Yeah, like if you need 1500 turns to hit 70 million 1 key, you shouldn't get 1 key. I know it sounds bad to say this, but that's the truth of the story. You shouldn't get the... Like, what's... Essentially, if the point of the clan boss is to just give you a reward box, there's no point of the clan boss, right? Just don't even bother with the clan boss. Just basically open the game and press reward box. What's the point of the clan boss? Unless there's actually a team that I need to build, it's absolutely pointless. Now, the Hydra situation, that's different. And the only reason why I say that's different is because they fundamentally affected the mechanics of the fight and given nothing back in return. Right? They've effectively nerfed... They've basically buffed the Hydra boss, and they've basically given you nothing as a compensation, which I always think is a bad way to rebalance the game. Even when you see, like, if you ever see any sort of rebalance patches done by Riot Games for League of Legends, they always go, okay, we've nerfed this thing, but to counterbalance it, we've pushed something new up, or we've changed something in another way, or we've added something back into the system that we think could be more interesting. So they give you something new, but also take away something that they deem too strong. What they've done in this update is they've just taken away everything. Right? They took away Permataunt, they took away Yannicka, they took away... I don't think they've taken away Trunda, but they've tried to take away Trunda. They've made everyone else's team damage much lower. They've made the fights much harder. They haven't given us anything in exchange. They haven't given us a single feature update in the whole Hydra rework that makes it better to play the game mode. Everything is just worse. And that's always a bad way to do balance, because you're going to get everyone just not find any positives, and that's going to piss people off. That's it. Don't worry, little greedy kid. You know, effectively, Taunt paid the price for Wixwell. Nobody listened to me about this. Everyone said, oh, it was Yannicka. I was like, no. The reason why your Permataunt teams are dead is because of Yannicka. So if you want to complain at someone, go thank whoever came up with the Yannicka team, because that's why that's nerfed. Because that's why they've killed it. Because Permataunts were not a problem for them until it started doing 7 billion damage or whatever it could do. That's when Permataunt became a problem for them, and they only then killed it after that. The true fault, of course, lies with whoever... Well, that was a close one. The true fault was whoever designed Wixwell over in Plarium. That's the true failure. Because they should never have allowed the mechanic in the first place. But then, obviously, when we came up with these teams broke the game. So then now they've gone, well, we need to fix this. And unfortunately, the person it's fallen on is Permataunt. Permataunt was fine as a team. Yannicka was the problem. But because of the shield growth, they had to kill Permataunt. So they did. So. I mean, they already have, because I'm pretty sure Onryo will become the new broken one. Because as much as I think Trunda will still be strong, he's more consistent because he's going to do it just all the time. It depends on how much you can grow his excess damage. The key to Hydra is now going to be killing a Hydra head and then being able to get the Hydra decapitation as low as you can without killing it and then bursting. That's going to be the strategy now. Because excess damage will be king. How much excess can I get over my 10 million? Because effectively by putting a HP bar on decapitated heads, you're applying a HP cap. So what I mean by that is you're basically saying the most amount of damage you can do is 10 million to a Suffering Head. So now the game is, how can I manipulate it to give me more than 10 million? That's the game. And the way to do it is you get excess burst damage. And the one champion that's better at doing excess burst champion than anyone else in the game is Trunda. So invariably you go, well, if I can get my Trunda A2 to hit at exactly the right moment in time, I get more damage than the average person because the average person's capped at 10 million. If you trickle over, you're going to do far less than the rest of it, the rest of the team. So, and it's why I think Onryo will come good if you can get his secondary to do consistent overkill. Because what you'll do is you won't have to be so careful about resetting. You'll just build Teox A1, you'll build a team to survive to deal with all the new mechanics, and then you'll just keep hitting A1 and watch as Onryo's passive just does work. I think that's what will happen. So, the problem is, I've said this all along, they fundamentally do not understand how the Trunda team works. Which is why the moment they were like, we tested Trunda, I'm like, did you? Did you actually go to the best players on the server who have been running this team and ask them to run their Hydra team in the new environment? Because that's how you would do it. You would go to the best player that's running these teams and you go, hey, we've got these ideas. We want to see if we've killed Trunda. Please test it for us. That's how you do it. They didn't. They copy-pasted someone and pressed auto. Probably. Now, I know some people have been trying it, I think, on the test server and various different things. But again, I'm not looking for someone who knows how the team works roughly. I want to see the best person who knows how to run the team. The one that did 120 billion, I want to see how he does. Because it's not about how much damage you can get to. It's about how much comparable damage to the next best team. Because that's what it's about. It's about how much more does Trunda do versus the next best team. Because if you want to kill the concept of Trunda, Trunda has to be on par with the next best team. That's always been the problem. It's not that Trunda does insane damage, it's that she does so much more damage than anyone else could even dream of doing, that you end up in the situation where you can't do anything. So the question isn't, is Trunda still capable of doing a lot of damage? Because she won't be able to do as much as she was. The question is, can Trunda still output more damage than anyone else to enough of a ratio that you would go, it's changed nothing, right? That's what I'm looking for. So I'm pretty sure it hasn't. I'm pretty sure she still will be up there as one of the better teams. Can we just kill this team? Oh my god. Oh, for God's sake. It's probably going to heal a load. My god, this is annoying as hell. Wither the crown, man. Right, can you just die? Thank you. No, I don't think the shield teams were fine, honestly. I think anything that anything that basically has no other champion dealing damage and are only there for the purpose of one champion to do one-hit wonders is a bad team. That's bad game design, right? I should have to build a team that solves the mechanics, not build one champion and figure out how to exploit it as much as I can. That's the issue I have with it. They effectively built a system in which you were encouraged to exploit. And what I mean by exploit, I don't mean like cheat. I mean bypass the mechanics of the boss so that you don't have to do what you meant to do. That's what I mean by exploit. I don't mean cheat. It's often a misconception. What I mean by exploit is you find a way to artificially avoid game mechanics when you shouldn't be able to. Reach. Now the question is, will I survive against the onslaught of this boss? Break the shield. We don't need that right now. Extend the duration. Get decreased attack. Get decreased defense. Weaken. Yeah, we can do it. With Lanicus, you don't need her, to be honest. Dark Kale is really, really good for this because he extends the duration of the debuffs, right? That's the beauty of Dark Kale here. The only issue I have here is, will I be able to survive long enough amongst the backdrop of this? Does this do heal reduction? No. Need that for heal reduction. I still haven't got it. That's the only downside with this, is will I die before I kill it? And also, can I get heal reduction out? Which apparently I don't have enough accuracy for Cold Heart. Right, so I need heal reduction there, right? So now I can do this. Extend. As long as I keep extending the debuffs, I'm alright. It's just whether or not I lose my debuffs. As long as I don't lose the debuffs, it's okay. But Dark Kale's taking quite a battering. So, I don't have Lanicus now. So like, as long as I keep decreased speed on the boss, I can't die. And he's really good because he extends the duration of everything. It's basically, will he lose too much max HP? And obviously this does not help when I didn't cleanse my debuffs, which was stupid. So now I'm kind of like hoping I can get back round like so. And extend. I just need to get a bit of a max HP hit on with Cold Heart. Because at the moment I'm just losing a lot of max HP. See, right now I've got pretty good. I'm okay, but the next time it comes around, I probably won't have an extension. See, I don't. So I can do this to make sure I don't get crit. But now I'm in trouble, right? So now I need to make sure I get back around to my A2 as quickly as I can. This helps. Because I only have one turn, so I can extend it here, which is great. Throw in max HP. Because I'll get a turn. We'll extend the duration. Beautiful. So it's only if I, like, die. But actually, once you get this late into the fight, it's very hard to die. Even though you've lost a lot of HP, you don't really die from stuff. And the strengthen from Lydia's going to help. As is the Duchess passive. Break. Extend. See why Dark Kale is really good for this fight? Because he's just permanently extending the decreased speed. I don't have to keep reapplying it. Now it gets a bit ropey because I'm like, Cold Heart's nearly dead. So gotta be careful. Ideally, I just need a good A1 on Cold Heart or something. So I'll do this just to get decreased speed back out. Hopefully Cold Heart can knock out an A3. We'll just extend as well. So close. But this is how you do it. Obviously, if you don't have Countess Lix, it's quite hard because she's the decreased speed in this team. Finish it off. Boom. Ooh, resistance with speed. Take that. Yeah, decreased speed is hard. Doing it without decreased speed, I mean, you can use Contracts and different things, but this team I found the best balance. But Dark Kale is absolutely, like, key. He's so good. This one I just don't want to do. It's going to be horrible. I don't know, maybe Michinaki can just blast through it. I haven't done Amius yet. If memory serves me right, the biggest problem with this is the damage. As in, like, Reflect is the biggest problem. Oh my god, it's AoE Provoke. Why is it whenever they rebalance champions, they just make it harder in PvE content? Like, they've literally just made this harder because of War Chief. Oh, be damned if I'm doing this right now. Why do they do this every time? We notice that every single time they buff a champion, it's always something we have to fight. Okay, they buffed Jingwong. Amazing, guys. We got Jing. Now we have to deal with two of the hardest frigging, like, Curse City waves because they buffed Jingwong. They buffed Gergo. Great. Now Ice Golem 10 hard is annoying because my Marius keeps freezing himself. Every goddamn time. I want to know why. Why do they do this to us? Oh, they know. They do it on purpose. Probably. Nearly. Can we just kill the... Thank you. Oh. I hate the fact you have to kill this chick 3 times now. To kill her so many times, it's actually kind of annoying. She died. I mean, War Chief buff is quite good. Don't get me wrong. It's great. I'm just like, it's always... You always come up against, you know, like, oh, that's annoying. Now I've got to do so much more. Let's just kill him. And I'm actually just healing because of Sissia passive. That's really annoying. How would you build Odin? There's a guide when you pull him. I mean, I don't know if I'll pull him. I mean, it depends how you use him. If you use him for Arena, he does need crit rate, crit damage. If you're using him for Hydra, he doesn't need any crit rate or crit damage. So it really depends on where you're going to use him. You can build a cool clan boss team out of him, which is kind of fun if you can get the speed to him right. An oldie but goodie. That thing is going to take a turn. His passive is kind of annoying as well to use. Like, he's very good in Arena as just like a support that can do damage. Like, if you put crit rate on him, he can wreck. It's just a harder build when you do it that way. But in Hydra, effectively, he will hit clown. Like, you could basically use a level 1 Odin and it will hit max HP. Right, level 1 Odin will hit max HP every time. Is it worth doing 6,000? I mean, depends what you're spending that 6,000 dungeon diver points on. If you're asking me, is Odin worth the Prism Chase? Yes. It's one of the better Void legendaries in the game. But that's subjective to whether or not you want to spend the energy between a fusion right now doing dungeon divers if you don't want to do it, right? Subjective. I definitely think you should do the Sand Devil tournament if you haven't already. It's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer, you know? I'm eating bread, I know, it's kind of silly. This one's easy enough. Might have to rebuild for it though. Basically I can do it, I just have to rebuild for it. So I'll save that for regear. I might just switch over to Nizana a bit as well. Maybe Nizana's got... Let's try Nizana over one of these husks. That's what I wanted. So, you see, I just need to build a bolster to stop this. Once I build a bolster, it'll be fine. But it is gatekeeping because these combinations are really annoying. So, we've done some. It's pretty good progress. 13 looks a bit horrible. Boom. This is pretty easy. Boom, easy enough. S6, what did I do? I did double Creodon. Cannon the Shriek would be pretty good. She hits really hard. As would Lockwane. What kind of quest am I close to? Nothing really. Do one of the bosses. I think Nizana at the moment is in my DPS stun gear. All I have to do is just figure out how I balanced it before. I just haven't. The problem is all my account, like half the champions I used before, are probably not in the same build as they used to be in. You seriously tell me I still haven't unlocked his passive? Oh my god, I've put 4 free fears out. Now I've finally got his passive. Good god. Well, they all died. Fortis to the rescue. Pretty sure Fortis will have the highest damage here. Oh no, Archer. Very close to Narcissus though. That kind of sucks. That might be alright. Just loading up my inbox is all I'm doing. I don't get any perks, no. What is perks? Is Marius is better in Slayer even at 6-piece. Marius is always going to be better in Slayer for Arena because you get turn meter, and turn meter is more important than anything else. I think you'd struggle to find a better place. I don't think you'll find a better build than Slayer for Marius in any situation. It's always better to go Slayer, even at 6 pieces. So, yeah, I don't get that. I'm not in the program. You know, a 6-star Narcissus from Booster Day, what blessing. I mean, if you're fighting a lot of Stone Skin, Kraken Roots is quite good. If not, you can go some like Heaven Cast or Polymorph, I would say. Nice. City. I haven't done any Hydra, by the way. I'm way behind. It's kind of bad. Let's just get dailies done and we'll see where the picture lies. I need to fight in Tag Team Arena more times. Alright. Let's fight off Thor. You can go Ward. I think Polymorph is more valuable though. And this is why Slayer works. Look how much damage I just did with it with Slayer. Nope, I didn't even get the Ieyasu's luck. Oh wow, that's crazy. Bump, bump. Bump, bump. Nice. What else we got going on here? This one looks fine. Let's put that against that. Hey, look, it's an Odin. Should we find Odin? Odin would be fun. Hey, look, Odin, go die. You could bring your 40% void turn meter to me, but it ain't gonna make a damn difference, my friends. So much for that 40% aura. Teoxed. Oh, that's actually kind of annoying. I put the wrong team into this. I'll probably lose. Marius gets a turn and be fine, but he's just going to get perma-stunned. I put the wrong team into it. I still got coin left. Honestly, let's just get rid of that. I think I'm going to lose this. I put the wrong team. Put the wrong team into both. Let's go again. That's better. There's no point. They were block revived. And he's going to die. Oh man, I hate it. Right. Of course I got true fade. Of course I got true fade. Doesn't matter though. Wukong always overpowers everyone. Wow. It's great. 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 Can we not be frozen? There we go. Stop that. Brilliant. That's better. That's fine. We'll take it into that. Yeah, I mean, as much as the Hydra changes are big, I don't think they're that. I honestly don't think it affects high-end teams or any teams that we're doing over like a 500 million mark. Like, it's going to be annoying. That's more than anything else. I think what you're going to find is a lot of people that used to auto Hydra are not going to be able to auto Hydra anymore. I don't think Hydra's very autoable after this update, if I'm being honest. It's very punishing to play the game. Oh, God. Oh, come on. Stop this. Thank you. Marius is huge. Honestly, Marius is probably the best champion in the game. Now, if you put mythicals aside and everything, just overall utility, Marius is really up there. Well, no more passes for you, my friends. Decrease resistance to all of you. Enfeeble to all of you. And you're dead. Poor guys. Didn't even get a turn. Okay, without using a champion. Carnage is very good, especially when you get his soul. He becomes much better then. I tell you what I do like about Wixwell. Right. How many people will say the line, oh, but we chose him. It's unfair that we chose a champion. The champion that we built. As if they didn't make it obvious which one you were going to pick, right? Because they basically made the champion by forcing all the unique mechanics into one option of a tree. So they may have given you 3 options, but it was always going to be the build that they wanted because of the way they set the champion up. I love how they always avoid the man-eaters. Every time. Like, the man-eater is always the last one they pick. So annoying. Like, it wasn't a community choice champion. It was, let's make it a vote, but make it so that you always vote for one way, because it's the way we wanted you to go. It's like confirmation bias concept. You were always going to go that way just because of what they put in the skill set. And also, there's also, like... It's the human psychology of... Wait, hang on. I've picked 3 of one type, so I might as well just pick the 4th to match it all up. You know what I mean? So, like, just because we picked three supports, we automatically pick the 4th support. Because otherwise it's weird if we don't. Quintus is in my Hydra team. Greta. Quintus A1 is not as strong as Ninja, but it's up there. It's really good. I should actually check if I've done all my dailies from this one. I'm not saying it was bad at community engagement. Cool. I'm actually saying it was cool. What I'm saying is when people are basically applying a higher tier to Wixwell because they voted on him. And they're like, well, we made this champion. I'm like, you didn't make anything. You basically chose the champion they wanted. Okay, you had a vote on it, but they could have released Wixwell as that skill set and it would be the same outcome. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand why there's a level of critique that because you voted on the champion, it has to have like a higher burden than any other champion in the game. To me, that's a very weird statement to make. So... yeah, I mean, they did leak it on the website. It was a bit of a mistake on their part, wasn't it? It's quite funny. Yeah, I mean, I actually don't think... He's a great champion. The problem is he gets all his focus on the shield growth because of the exploitive nature of what you could do with it. People forget he's still a pretty strong champion. He's one of the best provokers in the game on an A1. He's got the intercept, which is only available on Lamassu once you get her. He's got the decreased attack as well. The counter-attack passive. Like, he's a really, really strong champion, honestly. He's like, the shield is but a small part of his kit. And then, now that they've modified the shield, it's almost like, oh, Wixwell's dead. Wixwell's nerfed to the ground. I'm like, is he? Is he really? We'll be a little bit hyperbole here. I think we're being a bit over the top. I don't think it's as bad as it is. Oh, and Incenser. I mean, I ignore the Void Legendaries because the only reason why I mentioned Lamassu is a Void Legendary because eventually everyone will get her. It might take you like a year, it might take you 2 years or whatnot, but eventually everyone would get Lamassu. There's no count that you would ever get Incenser, so I kind of ignore Void Legendaries. Same as Mythicals, right? When I'm saying things, I don't really consider the Mythicals because unless you've got a credit card and a very, very long budget, it's unlikely that you're going to get what you want. Yeah, because if you remember, the month after, we basically had... the month after that, we basically had Incarnate come out, right? The Incarnate, and it was like half the A1 chance. I was like, well, that's never going to work. If you just gave someone a champion with 100 or near enough 100% provoke A1, and then you release the champion with 50% A1, like, why would people ever want to go for it? It's always going to be worse because the chances are just less. So it's kind of obvious that wasn't going to work. It's a bit strange to me. No, there's not a nerf at all, Marcus. To be honest, it's just that exploitive team. Honestly, for me, the big thing I wanted them to change with Wixwell was I wanted them to base his shield growth not off the current shield, because I felt like it made him kind of useless in short form content for the shield growth mechanic. Like, when I got Brogni, I can build Brogni to do a lot of damage, and I get that, like, big shield. So I actually see the visible impact. When you use it for the first time, it basically does nothing. It's kind of useless. I wanted them to increase the initial extension so that the shorter fights, it actually was worth more, and reduce the ceiling. That was my position on it. It wasn't to nuke him or make him terrible or not work. I just felt like he needed to have a little bit more early consistency, because you were just basically saying he was only good for shield growth in extremely long content. Otherwise, the shield growth is basically negligibly pointless. At least with Brogni, I can build damage, right? The stronger I build my Brogni, the more I can make the shield growth work. I can't physically make his shield growth better or worse, right? I can't, because I can add more buffs, but that's about it. So, do you think the next big update will be the Great Void and Clan Boss? Probably. It's probably going to be new PvE content, for sure. They've done a lot of PvP lately, so we've had Live Arena in for a while now. We've got Siege. We'll probably have a big PvE stuff. Like, Event Dungeon's kind of a PvE feature, but I mean, it's just basically a playable character in an Event Dungeon. It's not really the same thing. Well, with Brogni, you just can't grow it as big, to some extent. It will count, but what I meant with Brogni is, if you don't have the Infinity Shield comp of Brogni, when you actually extend his shield, you physically see a difference. When you extend it with Wixwell, you don't really see a difference until you can't even notice a difference. That's the difference. That's the thing for me. With Wixwell, his shield growth is basically pointless unless you have a big shield. It doesn't, because of the way that it scales, right? It doesn't scale very well. Yannick is still a great champion. People go, oh, Yannick is in the toilet. Yannick is only in the toilet because you have better DPS options. That doesn't mean her damage is useless. Where are we at with this? Stronghold's coming along nicely. We've nearly unlocked that side. We haven't really started unlocking this. It's gone a bit quiet. How's Panda doing with our defenses? Oh, he's pushed a little bit. Done Doom Tower, Clan Boss. Oh, I suppose I better do my Clan Boss teams. Mother trucker. Yeah, it's exactly the same concept, right? MXA1 is basically negligible. You don't even notice it's got a shield growth. And I feel like that's the same for Wixwell and anything other than those extended fights. Oh, we had a new clan shop. I forgot about this. What do we get? Ugh. God, the clan shop sucks sometimes. I feel like the clan shop needs a visit, don't you think? Some of these things now, like, tell you what I'd like to see in clan shop. Variable sets. Why don't you give me accessories I can buy with variable sets or something? Don't get me wrong, some of it's okay, but man alive. I don't even bother taking clan quests anymore. I should, but... yeah, it's too expensive, honestly, for me. I find 3,000 clan gold way too expensive for what it's worth. It's one book, it's nothing. So I did the Sand Devil tournament. That's sorted, that's done. I'm not doing this. Don't really see the point in it. Don't need it. Soul Chase. We'll see. I mean, I don't have many stones. We'll have Hydra tomorrow. Where are we at with Hydra? All right, then. I mean... is it worth pushing? I can get us to like 140, but I don't want to push if nobody else has got any more in the tank. That's the thing. I don't want to push unless we've got a lot in the tank. So I could be spending my time better. I'd like to know, basically. Let's just do the main. Let's do the main event. Have I got enough storage first? Probably not. I haven't had a chance to do it. I've been too busy, but I do want to do more towards getting a better finite team. It's the one I was most interested in. That's not very good. This one. It's a bit messy. Shell. Keep that one, right? That's enough. I just needed to basically be able to do that so I can go to Shuzhen. Put her in a last. I mean, I don't know if this is the last time I'll do it, but it's. Oh, I never changed her out of it. No wonder why I've been losing arena fights. I forgot to change her out of her Hydra build. She's been in the wrong build the entire time. She's been in her Hydra build. Well, there you go. Never mind. Funny stories. Funny stories do be like that. Wait, have I messed up her real build now? Oh, I'm going to have to break Cornelia because Cornelia's in the real build. Oh. That'll be why when I was trying to build Cornelia the other night, all of her... That'll be like the other night when I was trying to build Cornelia. All of her build recommendations were the fastest pieces on my account because they weren't actually equipped on my champion. Hi, vey. That makes sense. Funny how these things come together. When the next times 2 will be. Didn't we just have the progressive? So it should be this weekend. I think it's times 2 sacred next. I could be wrong. Boom. Reset. Reset. Mind you, we haven't had a primal in a while. You are not wrong. We could have a primal soon. It's been a minute. Boom. Give an extra turn. Max damage. Reset. Reset. Give it an extra turn. Max damage. Reset. Look at that. 380 million. We haven't even done anything yet. Should Onryo be in your best attack here? I mean, it depends what you're going to use Onryo for. I would say tomorrow will be very interesting when we see the code. Right, that's what I'm looking towards right now, is what is the code going to show me? I'm waiting for the code. Because that'll tell me how good it is. Yeah, Asgard event ends on the 25th. I think Asgard event will end, and I think we'll have a Halloween event straight after. Hey, look, 500 mil. Set. Poison Cloud. Might as well give it an extra turn. Yeah, I think it will happen like that, yeah. It might be Monday. It might be a few days because they normally like to start the Halloween fusion around about the... Nice. They normally like to start the Halloween fusion around about 2 or 3 days before Halloween, like 4 days or so. So you might find that it's like the Asgard event ends on the Thursday, and I think they'll put the fusion on the Monday. At the latest. The very, very latest, I think that's what it will be. That's going to be kind of annoying. We have Poison Cloud here. Okay, boom. Really? Are you serious that you lived on the little health? You mother trucker. Because it's going to respawn the head now before I get a chance to kill it. Mother trucker. I think I do that. Damn, I need one more turn. I made a mistake. Made a mistake. This is the only problem when you run double Yumiko. When you don't run double Yumiko. You got to remember the cooldowns. So I need to cleanse that off. It's kind of annoying. How's Siege going? Yeah, well, so far. I've not been able to pay attention to it as much as I'd like today. Just because I've been super busy in meetings all day. So I've not been able to pay attention as much as I normally would. But I believe it's going well. Oh, man, 3 negative affinity. Good lord, that's bad luck. Pump some damage over there. Can we get some Hex out? Over on the... Yeah, it's worth holding, actually. Do you know what? Actually, that's made my decision. I'm not going to summon until Champion Chase. But keep in mind, if you're going for Odin, right, you need to buy them in advance. I'm pretty sure you can't buy them the last day, but I'm pretty sure you can pull them on the last day. And unless they sneak in some sort of event, they might decide to put something other than a hero's path. Like, they might decide to put something else. So make your decision probably like when they announce it tomorrow or something. They'll announce the chase tomorrow or Thursday. You might want to... I'm pretty sure it lasts. We'll double check after this. I'm pretty sure it will last. But I don't think you can buy it on the last day. I think you have to buy it all the way up front. Hey, look. And a 1, and a 2, and a... 1.1, that just added 450 million damage, that did. We're up to 1 billion. We want to hit 10 billion minimum, if not more. Yeah, you can only buy 5 a day. I mean, 5 a day is a lot of money. I don't think the limit is a bad thing, if I'm being honest. I feel like a limit is appropriate. Now, do you know what? I don't think they need to lower the requirements. I just think they need to pull back some of the nerfs. If I'm being honest, the thing I don't like about it is they overcooked the changes. This is what they do all the time. Okay? Decapitation is not a problem. The problem is when you can abuse multipliers. Okay? The abuse of multipliers is what is the problem, not decapitation. Because quite frankly, if I have to build an absolute min-max team and I can get to 10 billion as a ceiling, that's okay. Do you know what? Congratulations. I think that's fine. And you might say that's crazy. Yeah, it is still crazy numbers, but like that is with a team that is ultra min-maxed, right? They have found all the multipliers. They spent all the time doing it. I absolutely agree with the turn count change. I think that's a good idea. Let's reduce the turn count. Fine. Not a problem. I agree with the Serpent's Will change, right? To slow the fights down a little bit. Not a problem. I don't agree with the decapitation change. I don't agree with the fact they didn't buff anything and solve any of the core problems, right? Here's some of the core problems for me. The base decapitation duration, consumption duration shouldn't be 2. It should be 3 turns. Why? Because whenever the Suffering Head consumes you once you hit 2 turns, you cannot do anything to stop him from dying. You have no time. You have very little time to resolve the problem. So in my opinion, they should have dropped the base, increased the base of consumption to 3 turns and started at 6 turns. So at least I always have 1 turn that I can try and get it out of the highest HP head. This is what's worse about it. It's not the fact that it's an extra turn. What's bad is it's the extra turn on the tankiest head, on the head with the most health and the most defense. The hardest one to do damage to is the one they put the extra turn on. Like, why did they do that? That was very, very poor. So that's one of the things I said they should do, is increase the base. I think I can get a turn here. There we go. Increase the base of the consumption so that it goes 6 to 3. And that helps you mitigate some of the extreme edge cases where it's like, oh, I got poison clouded, now he's consumed, I can't do anything for 2 turns. The change that I recommended that they took up with Serpent's Will wasn't just like, oh, just put Serpent's Will to 100% damage to stop instant decapitation. It was, the way to stop Trundas and the way to stop these other teams is effectively the Serpent's Will wasn't having the impact it was designed to do. The idea of Serpent's Will was to guarantee a head would take a turn. The issue that they've created is you've got so much damage in the game now that players were able to just do so much damage because of Hex. So what I would have done, the reason why I was recommending the Serpent's Will change is because that would have meant that those heads can't be instantly re-killed. But it came with a big but, a massive one. When a Serpent's Will buff is active, that head is incapable of receiving buffs. So that you cannot have the problem where it's like, oh, look, the Wrath head's respawned, he's been instantly poison clouded, and now I can't stop his massive amounts of damage that I'm going to get because I can't debuff him anymore. Right? I can't regain control of the fight, which is a big part of the RNG aspect. You know, I don't want to have to be in a situation where it's like, okay, I've lost because the game was out of my control. Which I think those things, that's what the big change, that's what I was trying to say. It's like, yes, okay, we make a nerf, we make a change, right? We make a change. But what we're doing is we're saying to players, hey, those extreme edge cases that ruin your fun, right? 30 minutes into a run that you've been doing, you're really happy with the run, and you get a really bad RNG, the head respawns into Wrath, you get one shot by the Wrath, and the game's over. Those things should be removed. Right, we need to remove those edge cases so that the experience the players have in the game is better. I also recommended that we go through about 4 to 5 different epics and rares, and we find champions that are capable and appropriate to receive Veil and block buffs. Because one of the biggest problems we've got is you need mechanics to counter Hydra, and there are no champions. Right, you look at the Torment solutions. I bet if we thought about it right now, I could name the Torment solutions on one hand. It's probably Shamael, 2 Hanorach, Firol somewhat, Duchess somewhat, because you need a buff extension. They're both 4-turn cooldowns. And there's another one I forget. Maybe Incensor or Intercept, right? You can maybe do Intercept like Doom Priest. But you know what I mean, right? I can count on one hand pretty much what solutions are available to me to solve the problem of Torment Head. In a pool of 900 champions, Glycad is another one. Tatura is not really that good of a solution because, again, it's like he gets feared himself. I personally don't think Veil is a good solution for the Torment Head. I don't find it consistent enough. Right? I find it inconsistent. Boom. Hi, Mother Maud, lol. Yeah, it's a lol. I don't mind that it's irresistible. What I would do, give it something other than just Veil. Maybe decrease resistance, maybe increase resistance, maybe decrease accuracy, whatever you want. Give a secondary component to open up more team building opportunities so that it doesn't just feel like the only answer to the problem is Shamael. Because I'll be honest, that's what it feels like a lot of times. You could go and build all these different champions and everything, but 9 times out of 10, how many people just simply go back to, yeah, I'll just build Shamael, right? Yeah, maybe it can't be blocked, you know, or something like that. Now, I don't think resistible is the right way. Honestly, I feel like there should be a more gameplay mechanic other than just build more stats. Build more stats is very uninteresting. Yeah, building more stats doesn't really help. It's not part of the fun. The whole point is getting interesting team building mechanics. That's the fun part. It is not like, oh, I'm going to go and, you know, add 50 more resistance, or go farm live arena and add another 20 in my area bonuses. The fun part should be finding new champions that can enhance your teams. If it's all driven from stat driven, yes, you need minimum stats, but it's not a fun solution. Like, literally, simply just open up more champions and solutions for the problem. Same with block buffs, right? If you take out the void legendaries, the pool of available block buffs is super bad. It's super bad. There's really not that many. If you think about it. It's like Ugo. There's a void legendary that I forget his name. You know, and that's it. Packmaster's really good now because of block buffs. So these are the recommendations I made several months ago when we were looking at Hydra. I was like, yes, okay. Let's fix the real extreme edge cases by fixing Serpent's Will and cutting out these extreme edge cases. But let's give something back to the player a little bit. Let's give players the ability to control the fight a little bit more so they don't have to keep refighting over and over and over again. Because that was what I was saying was the problem. 9 times out of 10, the reason why players didn't like the game mode is because they would get 40-30 minutes deep into a run and then some bad RNG would kill them and they'd have to start again and they'd be like, I can't be bothered with this anymore, it's boring. Take away that edge case. You still got to make it hard, you still got to deal with RNG, you still got to make decisions in battle, but instead of those decisions being literally, oh well, I have no decision, the game has just screwed me, make it a little bit more player driven. And yes, it would make it harder with Serpent's Will, but at least I think players would feel like, okay, well, you've made one thing harder so you can deal with one problem, but you've also given me a little bit back. You've made it easier for me in certain areas. You've given me more options to think about. The conversation wouldn't then be, you've just nerfed my teams. It would be, okay, so this doesn't work anymore, but this is now an option. I wonder if this works. Nobody... I guarantee you now, how many people in chat are actually sitting here going, I wonder what new teams I can build after this change. What you're doing is going, I wonder how many of my teams still work. That's the outcome that this is going to do. And that, to me, is a massive disappointment. Because any major change to a system should always be driven from, I wonder what cool new things I can do. I wonder what new ways I can build my teams. I wonder what new things that I can unlock. That's why we love champion releases. Because it's like, I wonder what I can do with this champion. For me, Odin is very much like, I wonder what I can do with Odin right now. Right? I wonder what kind of mechanics I can do in Hydra. I wonder what mechanics I can do in Arena. I wonder what combinations I can pair it with Freya, right? That's the value and fun of having new champions. And I feel like all they did with this update is effectively make everyone's teams harder and there's no interest in changes, right? There's no real new ways to build it. There's no fun things added to it. They've just made it harder. And that is a bad way to do game design. Because you're just going to make everyone feel like, what's the point? So, at least to me anyway. It just makes it feel like people go, what's the point? They're just going to, it's just pointless. It's too hard. Wow, I have not increased my damage much since turn 20. Only added 1.1 million. It's bad affinity this for Trunda, actually. There's a lot of negative affinity. Now, there is some interesting change of strategy, okay? So right now we know the strategy in Hydra is to basically kill a head and nuke the head really, 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 really fast, right? That's the point of Hydra right now. We kill a head, we pick that head, and we keep pumping it over and over and over again until it dies. Now, what we're going to see is a slight change in that strategy, because now what you're going to do is you're actually looking at killing heads, not killing decapitated heads. Okay? Well, that's the game. The game now is, what kind of damage can I do to a head that's already nearly dead? And then the game is, how can I min-max the damage that I deal to a decapitated head so that just before it dies, literally just before it dies, that's when I use my Trunda nuke. Why? Because I get the maximum amount of damage of overkill. There is some other strategies you can do. One of the things that you can do is you can abuse the new mechanic where heads will only respawn with Serpent's Will once. So what I mean by that is, if you kill a head and that head is killed with another head at the same time, only one of them will get the Serpent's Will. So you can play a little bit of a game where it's like, okay, well, if I min-max this properly, I can get myself into a situation where... Damn, I messed that up, look. Messed this up big time. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Right, let's get back into control. My Hydra head back. Oh, freaking fear. Give me Trunda back, please. Come on. Right, Trunda. Right, let me reset. Get a shield. She needs buffs first. Poisons. Bit of a heal up. Give it a turn. Get rid of this. Thank you. Oh, that was horrible. That was horrible, that was. It's not gone. Honestly, I don't think it's gone. I think this is here to stay. The only thing I think that can beat it is Onryo. So what I was going to say is, like, if you can kill all the heads at the same time, then only one of them will come back with Serpent's Will. So that you can possibly get into a situation where if enough of the Hydra head's damage is good enough, you could potentially get a good cycle where you're not dealing with Serpent's Will as much as you thought you were. It's one of those things that I can't really know for certain because I need to play test it, and obviously I don't have access. So it is true. Why are you saying 2? If you kill all the heads at the same time, only one of them gets the Serpent's Will. That's what the game mechanic says. That's the absolute instruction of what it said. Now, if that's not happening, it's a bug, because they said quite clearly in the docs that they released, very, very clear. Where was it? A new random head. Where is it? Serpent's Will. If 2 new Hydra heads appear at the same time or get killed at the same time, only one receives the buff. So that should mean if I kill 4 of them, only one should receive the buff. If it's not, it's bugged. Simple as. Shouldn't be like that. What FAQ? Or is it part 2? I didn't read part 2. I never really read these things. What if I manage to kill one? If you cut down 3 explosives, 2 of the 3 will have the serpent's will. But what a confusing system. Why the hell is it then why did they say if you kill 2 heads at the same time, only one of them gets the buff? They should have said it comes in pairs. That's a different explanation. Even still though, it's doesn't really matter because the concept remains the same, right? The concept remains the same. Which is if you can cycle it correctly, you can get into a situation where you effectively don't have to deal with as much Serpent's Will. Only half of them. Yeah, it's worded really... I never really read their FAQs because I just make my own decisions because half the time they're wrong. I mean, some of their official videos are even wrong, so I don't really listen to a lot of them. I figure it out myself. And I work it based backward that way. I mean, let's face it, how many times did they say Fortis was working correctly when it wasn't? How many times did they say Slayer was working correctly when it wasn't? When they said that Siege auras weren't working and it wasn't, so... You always got to make judgment calls yourself. Dead heads will have the same speed as their parent. So decapitated heads, so the difference between polymorph and decapitation is the same system effectively, right? It changes the variation of the thing you're fighting. It's the same system. The difference is with polymorph, you get new stats. With Hydra, they stay the same stats, right? They get the same speed, same accuracy, same resistance, same, no longer the same HP because they get double the HP, but the HP is based off double the HP, right? That's the way that it works. Can hopefully reset Termia here. Nice. Yeah, which is why the moment they were like, yeah, we tested Hydra, guys, don't worry, we tested it. I'm like, yeah, I'll be the judge of whether you tested it. Because my gut tells me you didn't test it. And guess what? Proven right, probably. I would not be shocked if you see instantly within the first couple of hours someone posting a several billion Hydra key and it's still the best team in the game. Until you see on Rios. Yes, it will be harder, but I would not put it past the Krakens to find a way to work around it. Let's face it, we started Trunda with like, what, 50 billion? 40 billion? It's up to 120 billion now. They'll find ways to exploit and maneuver it, because until you fundamentally fix the problem with Trunda's A2, which is a fundamental problem with excessive damage, you will always have this problem where if I can find a way to abuse a multiplier, I can effectively create a secondary hit that is so large that nothing in the game can stop that damage output. Which is why Onryo is so strong, right? Because Onryo is effectively the same mechanic, and there is nothing in the game that can beat his damage. He smashed Toshiro. Absolutely smashed it. And Toshiro is meant to be the best champion outside of Trunda and outside of the Annika teams, right? Toshiro's, and he absolutely destroyed him. Wasn't even close. I think it was like 4 to 5 billion more. It's why Siegfried is so strong in Arena. It's why Wukong is so strong in Arena, right? All these things are all the same problem. I should have used A3, that was silly. All they've done is nerf damage. They haven't actually nerfed the problem. So... the only difference is you'll have less time to set it up. So it will require more extreme teams. They might have killed like these types of teams. Like Budget Trunda might be very difficult to do. But to be honest, if I'm waiting, Budget Trunda is probably going to be more efficient. Right? If I have to wait between turns, it means I can't just instantly reset. Budget Trunda becomes a little bit more comparable. Because I can just wait during the turns. So that's what you'll do. You'll set it up, kill head, wait for the thing to go, kill it again, kill it again. You'll just wait between Serpent's Wills. So, which is why I'm trying. I know everyone says, "Oh, I'm I'm boring, I'm sad, I'm this, I'm that, I don't want fun. I'm like, I do want games to be fun. But for me, fun is when we used to build clan boss teams and we find different variations and different champions that can beat it. For me, what is fun is when we have new like teams that can perform equally on the same level depending on the way that you build them with different combinations. To me, it was like finding extra 10 seconds in your Fire Knight team or an extra 20 seconds here that you didn't think about. That's fun. What's not fun is watching everyone run Yannicka teams going, hey, look at my Wixwell team. Oh, look, I found another 10 billion ways to exploit this one mechanic in the game that everyone now has to run if you want to be at all competitive. That's not fun to me. I would rather these abilities and these effects actually make sense than just sit here and go, well, you know, let everyone have fun with their broken mechanics. It's just me. The thing is, what's crazy, right? They nerfed her A2 and look, we've nerfed it, but they just replaced a lot of the power back in. Why? They added 2 more multipliers to her kit. So the key thing about Trunda's A2 has always been, can I find more multipliers? And what they essentially did with the passive is they gave her another multiplier, and then they basically gave her the ability to get Nature's Wrath from her A3, which is 30%, which she couldn't get before. Right? She couldn't get Nature's Wrath before because effectively she couldn't place the burn at all in Hydra. So they effectively gave her 30% and a 50%, which is going to mitigate half the damage loss. Just alone, because where you lost the critical damage now, I can actually replace a good chunk of it because I can get it from the passive and the Nature's Wrath. Because the combination of the two will get me close to it. It won't get me there. I'll be pretty darn close though. Like, I'll probably be... Well, this is not ideal. I'll probably be like 100% down off my 300 or 400% critical damage. Because I can get 50% more attack. And I can get 30% more flat damage. Easy. So... Yeah, but I don't think, like, Scratch maybe, but I definitely don't think Bronco's, like, the best players for these tests. Right? And what you're not seeing is what is the comparison. Like, how good is it compared to others? That's what I'm saying. I'm not caring about the ceiling. I'm caring about the comparison. Like, what is it comparative to other teams? And besides which, if they're getting 600 million... That's almost triple the initial test they did with Trunda. So it's already 3 times higher than what they estimated, based on their video. So, and they haven't tried on Rio. On Rio is going to be more consistent than Trunda. So, I mean, yeah, if you're using it in PvE, I would use Nature's Wrath because it's a free multiplier. It's a straight free multiplier. 30% more damage. Huge amounts. Just adding protection set on my Trunda added about 3 billion in my current damage team. So, I do think the changes have made Trunda more viable for Arena potentially, which is fun. I don't necessarily know if it's actually more viable or whether it's, you know, we'll have to see. But I do think she's more viable than she would have been before. I don't need that, just need hex. Boom. The math tells me right now, if you can get the damage in the right window, Trunda will not be beaten. That's what the math tells me, and the math never really lies to me. The only question mark I've got is, can you find the window with a double Yumiko team to make it work in the right setup? That's what I don't know. I did that wrong. I did it 1 turn too soon, but it's fine. Because I can reset. Yeah, it's got to be the right setup, though. Yeah, it's got to be the right team that I think she might be good in. Like, she's got to be able to place the burn to begin with. If she can't place the burn, it's not very good. Just do that to make sure I get 1 or 2 decapitated. And when she's placed the burn, she's got to be able to survive. If she's got Kraken Roots and she can hit the people, she should be doing quite well. The only downside is the A3 doesn't have any ignore defense, so you've got to build her really, really high. She's going to have to be a merciless, probably. It depends on how they were building her and what teams they were facing, so. She's not going to be meta. Like, it depends what team they were fighting. If they were fighting into meta teams, then no, of course not. But for the average player who's got Trunda in the vault, who's dealing with, like, annoying Stone Skin, rather than annoying champions, she'd be quite good, I think. Because there's a difference, right? This is what I've been trying to say about bomb champions and Commodus and that. When everyone's saying, oh, well, Croesus uses it in this. Well, yes, but he's also fighting the absolute top meta. There's a different requirement. Right? There's a different experience for players at the really, really high ceiling. What they're facing is almost like universal teams. They're seeing the same thing over and over again. Which means that what works for them is not necessarily what's going to work for you. This is not a good time to do this, but we'll try it. It's fine. Nice. I still think W Yumiko will be the strongest team. And I will be happily proven wrong, but I still think it's going to be the case. Because I think people will find a workaround. I don't think they've had enough time. Like, you got to remember, the content creators on the test server are not the #1 Hydra champ teams, right? They're not the best at testing it. Scratch is probably close, because I know he's got a very strong Hydra team. But a lot of them don't have the minimum requirements to be able to run that team. The double Yumiko with Firol, with 6-star Trunda, with +4, all those different things to set it up. I still think that team is the strongest. And once you find the right rhythm, I think it might even need that you need to speed tune it more consistently to get the right setup, right? At the moment, you can just kind of throw any speeds in and hope for the best. I don't think it's as dead as people are sort of talking about. Like, just a few test server videos don't kill anything. You know? And like I said, I think Onryo is gonna kind of take the throne, because I think Onryo is gonna be like a little bit more easier to set up, to use, because it's just gonna be more consistent damage output. So even if Trunda isn't as good, will Onryo just become the new Trunda? Have you actually just moved the problem onto one champion? You know? Exactly, Tyler. Classic example. And I don't even blame the content creators for that example, by the way. In the sense that because they don't see the coded situation, of course they're going to look at that and go, well, that wasn't very good, was it? Or that wasn't this, that wasn't that. Because, like, they tested the shield growth and it didn't grow very well. They didn't really think to test over long fights until someone actually went, well, hang on. Now that we know it's over this situation, maybe we should test it over that situation. Come on, out of the way. Cat, what are you doing? Come on. Come on. Have I got enough, or have I messed it up? I messed it up. Of course I did. Yeah, I don't think any of my teams change. Maybe I change out the Trunda team for a more on-hit team on hard if it can't compete. Just basically a more consistent, just raw damage team. And if I have to, fine. But at the moment, I can't see that any of my teams are going to change. I feel like I'm going to be running exactly the same teams that I've always run. They're just going to run less damage and they're going to be a quicker team. So I actually think my Teox team will be the strongest team as well because it's burst. So we'll see. Yeah, that's my opinion with the changes. The most affected player is going to be the player in mid to late game. I think it's going to change very little for the endgame players. I don't think they're going to need to modify too much. I think it's going to affect the people first starting out in Hydra. Because they're going to be the most affected. I think I messed this up again. Oh no, I didn't. Good. So, you know, those people that basically are running 200 million... anyone who's running 200 million in Nightmare are going to be really affected. 200 million or less are going to be really affected in Nightmare. I think they're going to be affected by this change. People who are running like me that can basically do 1 billion and stuff, we're like, okay, well, we now do 500 million. Well, that's a shame. What are we going to do next? You know? I don't really see any need to change any of my teams. Just running exactly what it was. Which is a shame. Exactly. Like, that's who I would have invited. If that's the account that's the highest, I would have found the most extreme case of the Trunda team, and I would have invited that person to test it on a test server to see what they could do. So, that's what I would have done. But instead, they just can't... I think they literally just copy-pasted the team. Which is a real shame. I'll be honest though, if I actually can get a comparable damage number to this and I don't have to run this team again, I will not be sad. I'm so bored of running this team. I just wish they would acknowledge the fundamental flaw with the system that they've got, which is the reason why Trunda is so strong is the excess multipliers that she can do all the time. I should be fine. Like, what would have absolutely killed Hydra team, the Trunda team, is if you did have, like, if they put the restriction on excess damage. If they actually made it that the excess damage doesn't count, then Trunda's absolutely dead. But I think, you know, that would have been really difficult for them to set up. And also, one of the main things I don't like about the new decapitation change is it feels like everyone's working towards a cap now. Right? I can only do 10 million on Suffering Head. I can only do 4 million on this head. So it feels like everyone now is just working towards an efficient way to deal with the cap, rather than going, how can I push more damage? How can I make my team stronger? Because that's what these things should always be. It's like, what's my next step? How can I make it stronger? How can I make it more powerful? It shouldn't be, how can I min-max the experience so that I don't get exposed by a cap? Because I'm micromanaging the fight then. My build doesn't really matter anymore. It's now all about like, oh, you hit this cap or you hit this, or you know what I mean? It's just a bit boring. Yeah, we will clear it. We will remove all of the teams that are not achievable. That's the way it's the best answer to it. Anything in team suggestions that is presenting an unachievable team will absolutely clear out. There's no point keeping them if they're unachievable. Yeah, I don't think anyone would tell you they're sad to see Trunda go. I just don't know if they've got rid of it. Right? And I do think they could have solved the problem by just doing what they did to Trunda and fixing shields. And they don't even need to fix shields. They just need to fix Wixwell shield growth. They could have basically solved the problem with 2 changes, but they did it in like 7. And those 7 changes are now going to cause more problems for the average player than just changing 2, right? Because we could have kept our permanent taunt teams. We could have kept our, you know, great strong damage dealers. But no, now we have to deal with the fact that half of our teams don't work. We don't have perma-taunt, which is a valid strategy, which served people well. All because they just didn't want to nerf 2 champions. And it's like, oh, well, we didn't nerf Wixwell. I mean, you fundamentally did. Let's face it, if you put a global shield cap, the only champion you're really punishing right now is Wixwell. So, you might as well just said we nerfed Wixwell, right? Because it's effectively what you did. Where's Taunt useful anymore? It's kind of useful in Arena. It's kind of annoying. We're nearly at 7 billion. It's a fun. Yeah, it's quite a high cap, to be honest. But it's like they introduced an entire mechanic just because they didn't want to change Wixwell. I'm like, just change Wixwell. Like, seriously. I mean, Emic A1, the main reason why they nerfed Emic A1 because it was on an A1. They overcapped. I wouldn't even argue that's a nerf. I would argue they'd released an imbalanced champion. Right? They should have been able to play test that internally to discover that they've got an imbalanced equation going on. But again, the key thing about Emic that I think is important, they changed it before he was even released. Right? They changed it on the test server. So, in essence, they used the test server correctly. They released a new champion. Content creators got it. They found that it was really, really powerful. They fixed it on the test server before the events went live. So you knew straight away, hey, should I go for Emic or not now that they've released his proper kit? Right? You had the ability to make the full decision without it being secondary. So that's fine. I don't think anyone can criticize them for making a change like that. Okay, some people might say, well, what's the point of his shield growth? Fine. I appreciate that's that's a valid statement. What's the point of a shield growth if it doesn't do anything materially specific? I actually think I picked the wrong head there. I misclicked. But at least they did it on test server. Well-built Wixwell teams will still work. I think everyone's Wixwell teams that we use in level 50 champions won't work. People say Taunt doesn't have a value. I disagree. Have you seen how powerful Arbaeus is? You go fight a well-built Arbaeus and you tell me how useless Taunt is, because that is some of the most toxic crap I've ever fought in my life. I'm more afraid of Arbaeus than half the mythical champions in the game. She's the sleeper OP champion. She has a strong aura, she has stone skin, she puts Taunt up, and then you can't do anything. Taunt is not dead. It may not be the most, like, present effect, but I mean, it's like basically saying Hex is terrible outside of Hydra, or Provoke is terrible outside of Hydra, or Sleep is terrible outside of Hydra. Like, Sleep doesn't have a place to have a place in the game unless you've got Sand Devil. It's the same statement. It's only because the Perma-Taunt team got really, really popular. Everyone's like, oh, this is what Taunt was created for. Maybe. It was one of them. Doesn't mean it's the only one. Gotta be careful here now. Oh man, that cleanse is really bad. I'm gonna spot a bother a little bit. I just need to make sure I'm careful. Let's just whack this for a little bit. Let's clean that off. Yeah, they killed it because of Wixwell again. Like, again, if they just simply went in and were like, hey, let's make Wixwell shield growth on a stat, not the shield. Shockingly, you would have had a situation now where it's like, well, you know, is it ideal? No. But, and here's the big but. Oh, man, this is going to be awkward. I'm in a spot of bother here. I need to focus a second. Hang on. Right, that's back. Set. OG. Ah! I get a cleanse, I think, again in a minute. So I get an extra turn. Oh, I'm in trouble. Oh, come on! I'm in trouble here a little bit. I just need to basically get it. One turn. One turn. This is what I need now. Come on. Finish it off. Right. Oh, that was close. Let's heal everyone back up. That was really close. I did not enjoy that. I couldn't use the unkillable because the mischief head was up and he would steal the unkillable and then I would end up in a situation where I can't kill any heads. So I was like waiting for this to happen so that I can get a turn. Right, Trunda can take a turn now and pump some damage onto this and we're back on track. Okay, sorry. I'm focused again. What did I miss? The cat was definitely on the end of the Sunday stream. Yeah, his extremely budget team. Basically, Wixwell will still be fine, but you're going to have to build a team for it. As it should be, right? You're not going to be able to put 3 buff extenders in all at level 50 and just be invincible. You're going to need to build a team for it, otherwise you're going to fail. Which I think is absolutely okay. Right, you would expect there to be a level of challenge to the most important content piece in the game for the early to mid game. So, what do we think? I'll probably reach like 9 billion, I think, based on the pace I'm going. So still a good 18 billion into the Hydra Clash. It's not as much as I would have liked. Could do more, but this affinity is not the best for Trunda. Oh look, we can go again. That was good. The thing about the Permataunt team though was to make it work, you had to have a very specific team. Like I tried it. I tried building the Permataunt team. And the most I could really get was about 300 million, 350 million. And that was with a pretty decked out Whisper and a pretty strong team, right? It was a strong setup that I had. And the most I could get was about 300 million. Because you needed someone like a Nia to reset the Emic. Then you needed Shamael to basically stop the fear. Otherwise you just basically lost instantly the moment there was a fear out. So you couldn't have any risk of a fear. And then you still had like 3 spots left to be able to get a damage dealer in there. Now, I was forcing Whisper, which makes it harder. But there wasn't really like a heavy amount of damage coming out of Permataunt. So I didn't really see the ultra crazy needs for nerfing the Permataunt. Why did they do it? Because they didn't want to nerf Wixwell. All they had to do was change 2 mechanics. Stop Wixwell making a huge shield and stop excess damage from being excess. Like multipliable. You fix those 2 things and then all of a sudden the whole Hydra scene changes with 0 changes to Hydra. Because you no longer can exploit the systems. Right? The teams that were doing really well no longer do crazy damage. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a simple guy who reads game code and understands how these things make no sense. But hey. So, when everyone's sitting there and going, I really hate Hydra, do you know who you can blame? Everyone who was against the Wixwell shield nerfs that I said should happen, the balancing. Because that basically told Plarium they can never change Wixwell. The reaction to those videos that I did. Those are the people. Because we can never meaningfully get any changes to Wixwell, so therefore they have to nerf everything around him, rather than just fixing the one core problem. So... Yannika's not the problem, though. Because you can run the Ironclad team. You can run the Aslan team, right? Yannika's just an efficient way to do it. She's not actually the core problem. Otherwise, why wasn't Yannika ripping it up before Wixwell came out? So... That's how you know which champion is broken, right? Was Yannika the #1 champion before Wixwell came out? No. Therefore, the broken champion's Wixwell. Oh yeah, I'll get the blame, don't you worry. I actually don't think Yannika's that bad. Yannika's a pretty good champion in the right place. The thing is, you're never going to find that many champions over mythical and void legendaries that are going to be stronger. So that's just the reality of the game progression. And there's so many strong champions in the game now that it's kind of hard to give a place for every champion in the game. As long as she can serve a role to someone in arena, which she's a pretty competent arena nuker, it's fine, you know? Yeah, exactly, right? That's what I'm saying. As long as she has a place that she actually can be useful, she doesn't need to be the best champion in the game. Keep in mind, she's a free champion. You get a pretty competent free nuker. That's more than what most people would get. Oh, we're up to 9.1. We still got another 200 turns to go. Isn't it fun? Might hit 10 billion if we get lucky with a rotation. That would be nice. A nice 20 bill. I've committed to not rebuilding Whisper until I get a +4 Whisper. When I get a +4 Whisper, I'll fully rebuild her. But it's taken me a while to get them. It's like I was trying to get some Shamaels and I just couldn't. I can't because my clan is depending on me. If my clan is kind of dependent on me to perform really well to win this. So, in essence, no, I can't just stop. So... No, Brogni can't scale. What you got to remember about Wixwell, the reason why Wixwell was so strong was because he can exponentially grow the shield. So that means that the shield itself could be grown on top of itself, whereas Brogni requires damage. And you can't really output an extremely high amount of damage to be able to grow the shield. So you can never grow it to a big enough value to make Yannika work, because Yannika needs 15% of a massive shield. Well, where is she going to get that 15% from, you know? So that's why Brogni was never the choice to go and why Wixwell is really good. Because once you hit a certain threshold, the shield growth is so extreme that you can like really get to that huge number and then use Yannika. And then people started using like Odin and that to re-spread the buff so they can keep doing it. So you've built this massive shield, you extend it permanently, you keep spreading it around. That's how you got like the 8 and 10 billion. But you can't really do it with Brogni because you need the damage. it's quite hard to get a good damage Brogni to be able to scale it anywhere near as much. So... Cadaver. Cadaver's another one of those examples where I was like, you know, we just needed a slight adjustment. We didn't need, like, extreme adjustments. Boom. And the other thing I was just, like I said at the start of the stream, the thing I was most annoyed about Wixwell was his lack of upfront shield growth in any other form of content. His shield growth is only good. It is literally only useful for the absolute extreme case. And that was what I didn't like. It's like, can I just not, like, make him... good? Like, can I have a bit more visible shield growth in short form content so he's more useful universally? That would I prefer. How do I fix Cadaver? A very similar way. I just wouldn't have gone extreme as they did. I would have made the cap a little bit higher. They just put the cap a bit lower. Hey, look, and go again. The thing when player in balance, they effectively always go one floor too deep, right? They always go one step too far. It's like everyone agreed that Cadaver was a problem and everyone wanted the Cadaver to have some sort of a cap, but nobody wanted the Cadaver to be the cap so low that it effectively made him worthless. That wasn't what we were aiming for. We were just saying a raid champion shouldn't be able to hit for like 1.5 billion damage in 1A1. Yeah, like a million cap, right? And you work your way down. So you don't necessarily start with a million on day one. Maybe you go, like, we're going to get it right. We're going to balance it. We need to get it, you know, a little bit lower because it's too strong at the moment. You start with one, you start with one, and then eventually you get it to a point where you're like, okay, yeah, this is good. Now it feels like the right level of damage. You don't just come in straight away and go, let's nerf it all, guys. Let's nerf it to the ground. So... I mean, you've got to remember, this is not the first time Hydra's had some rebalancing. They rebalanced the stats down, but they made everything else harder. Because they actually changed the Torment Head from being Veil or Perfect Veil to just Perfect Veil very quickly. They actually made it harder. It's crazy. Yeah, Madman was... The worst part about Madman, I was really livid about that, was the way they kind of tried to characterize it as if they were like, Madman is just way too strong. But Trunda's fine. In the same sentence, I'm like, I don't even know how you can speak right now. That's what was triggering about that. In one breath, they were saying it's too strong. In the next breath, I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, well, you have to work really, really hard to build the W Yumiko team, you know? There was actually an epic that had AoE Veil, Short King. I think it's one of the rarer epics that had it, Short King. They had a Veil on it and was one of the ones we were thinking about potentially using, and then they took it away. I was like, okay, so we're back down to just using Trunda again. Fair enough. Yeah, even Duchess Revive doesn't work. It's just... I hate the Torment Head because I feel like it forces you to go one direction you don't want to go. Yeah, it's not even like Madman was doing crazy damage numbers. You know, Madman was doing good damage numbers, don't get me wrong. But it was nowhere near Trunda because it's like, one, it was half the chance, as in it was a chance based, not a guaranteed. It was half the initial multiplier, and it was only 20% or 30% of the damage. So it was like halved. It was multiple halves. So I'm like, it's not even like doing insane damage here. So I don't even know why we're like sitting here going, you know, oh, it's not acceptable. I'm like, it's not doing billions. And you know what? That's the kind of fun I don't mind. I don't mind that. As long as it's not like an extreme edge case that is completely breaking the game, fine. When you have something that's just like 10 times, 5 times, like 50 times stronger than any other champion in the game, like, no, that's not fine, clearly, but he wasn't that. And again, if you're going to change Madman, you absolutely have to change Trunda. You can't just in one breath say Madman's too strong, but Trunda's absolutely fine. That's just going to get you, like, people are going to laugh at you, which is what they did. We're going to have to 50-50 it. Oh, we weak hit. It's always bad when we weak hit. I don't think they purposefully create uproar. I think they realized that if they want to make any long form content, they were hard capped by Wixwell. Because imagine they release another clan boss that you have to fight over long periods of time. Right? You physically can't do it. Why? Because I've got fear on me. I do. I need to be careful. Hit that. Hit that. Nice. If they release another clan boss with long form content, well, shield's already a problem. You literally already have to start going, right, we need to account for enemy max HP, we need to account for Trunda, we need to account for shield growth, we need to account for this, we need to account for that. And it's like, you quickly get to a position where you're like, I can't make this work anymore with the current power creep. There's no competitive challenge because it's instantly solved within 1 second. Let's face it, they released the new event dungeon. What happened? Someone one-shot it with Siegfried. How did they one-shot it with Siegfried? Because excess damage is exploitive and they shouldn't have it in the game. And we're in the situation we are in with Amius because Amius has to account for so many powerful mechanics that players are just like, oh, it's too complicated, I can't understand it, you know? The fight's pretty okay, don't get me wrong, it's not the best thing to fight into, but it's not anywhere near as complicated as some fights in the game. I think we're kind of near enough. I think we're done now. Like, we're going to get screwed over by this, I think. I think I have one more in me. If I can get back onto Trunda in 3 turns. Have I got Trunda? Trunda has to be next. Nope. Alright, well, it's pretty good. 10 bill. So 20... So a 20.4, 20.6 Hydra Clash score. Boom. We did it in an hour today. That was faster than we've done it before. The other days has been like an hour and a half, so. It's taking a while. Can you devise a rougher Sacred Order team to deal with than Siegfried, Venus, Cupidus, Bivold? Yeah. Two turns Stone Skin Falmond one-shots your team. Because Siegfried will not be able to one-shot him because of his passive. And you can't get rid of his passive, so Falmond probably counters it. You could go Cardiel, ally attack into Siegfried to finish him off. I can basically provoke you. There's so many different options here. If you're saying like Sacred Order versus Sacred Order. Is that what you're saying? Are you saying like with a restriction in Siege? See you later, Remy. Hey, Dennis. How's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Or are you just thinking stronger? Yeah, for Siege. With a restriction? For Sacred Order only? Is that what you're thinking? Yeah, so it probably loses to like a fast Cupidus that can basically... A fast Cardiel, basically, that can control the fight. It probably loses to Phoenix, because Phoenix can block revive. It probably loses to Falman, because he can basically just... Like, this is the thing with these restrictions. Yes, it does work, but it assumes that people don't have a sequence back. Maybe the enemy sequence is faster and just one-shots you. Right? Sequence that strong, you just one-shot everyone. Okay, the enemy sequence would then prop his passive and switch form and then revive, but then you can just probably come in with an Astral on stun, or... It's always an answer to the problem. Like, I can AoE block revive, so you can't do it with Constantine. Depending on, like, does he work Sacred Order? I don't think he does. No, so he's not a problem. But Phoenix would be the solution. I could run Cardiel, Phoenix, Falmond, and something like a Wixwell and Stone Skin, or like I could even run a Venus to strip your buffs. So it's very hard. Like, I would want to see the Falmond on the opposing team if it was me. How has he reached our defense yet? No, not really. What did that do for our Hydroclamos? Well, we got our last minute chest. Let's have a look. 2 good rings. Lovely. Nice. That's pretty average. That's okay. Oh, well, apparently it's ring day. Last but not least. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. We'll test that in a second. That's beautiful. Skinwalker banner. Only problem is all this is doing is pumping up my inbox. Look how much space I've got left. I'm going to have to clear some inbox space before tomorrow. I just need to get a massive dump of silver and just go through my accessories again somehow and find some space. Start being a bit more brutal on what we keep and what we get rid of, I guess. When's the next artifact enhancement event? Is it tomorrow? Yes, great. We'll do a gear cleanse. Nice. Excellent. I need silver, that's the problem. To do an artifact enhancement, you need silver. Oh, I don't have silver. We just have to keep so many variable sets. It's a real problem right now in the game. Like, it really is a real problem. And I don't really know how we solve it. Just gonna have to start selling some really bad pieces of gear. No. And start looking at, like, gap analysis and trying to figure out which, you know, basically all of these need to start getting sold. Start doing that. Got to. No space for them anymore. Oh, come on. It would have been perfect. Ugh. We gotta just switch. How fast is Cornelia right now? 319. I need to rebuild Cornelia because I stole pieces of gear that I shouldn't have done. Which is bad. Did I be... Stein. Did I get invited to the premium club? I can't even get invited to the test server club. What are you on about? Premium club. Premium club. Premium Club, he says. Yeah, I can't even get into... What have we got then? Soul Merchant. Nishak. Nothing really exciting there. There's never anything exciting in that thing. Claim all our little things up. Did that make a dent in Hydra Clash? Let's see. Not really. I mean, it's put me up to the top, but... I mean, I've got to find 15 bill. Like, unless people in the clan are going to push, there's no way that I can win this. And I just... I don't want to push if people aren't going to push. That's the thing. If we don't have any big keys left, I just don't want to push. That is the coolest border, by the way. I want this border from... I think you get it from... I think you get it from the chest from Centranos. Really cool. Look at this. Oof. Why is he... Shooter, why have you put Gamma around of all things? Crazy champion. It's by far the best portrait, I think. Like, I could push, but it's just so much effort. Like, I don't really want to do it if nobody else is going to push. Like, we're so far away. I need to know. I need a sample size. Like, how many keys we got left? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I mean, we can do it, but I don't want to do it if nobody else is. It's, I'm not there yet, no. They got rid of the 5 and a... Yeah, they got rid of the silver, they did. I mean, the good news is we're guaranteed 3rd. It's just, if I run all my teams, it will take a while. Right, if I run all my teams to full capacity and full power, it will just take a while. Just don't really want to do, you know. Which one's the problem here? You are. Well, I mean, to be fair, I've been super busy, so there's a reason why it all took last minute. Because I've just been really busy, so I haven't had time to be able to run them for a long period of time. But yes, you are correct. I shouldn't be leaving them till last minute because it leaves me in the situation where I've got a lot to do and no time to do it. Can we not die to that head, please? Can we stop hitting the Wrath Head? If we could so kindly... Can we stop hitting the Wrath Head, please? Come on. You, go put Packmaster out there. Wow, we didn't get any chance to do that. Wow, how has he got full turn meter after he just took a turn? Someone explain that to me. How that head just got full turn meter straight after getting a turn. Kill Tim, yeah. Oh my god, I didn't kill the turn meter. Can we kill the guy with the freaking turn meter? Come on. Oh, I'm so annoyed by this right now. He's got no health. Right, kill that. He's going to spread that buff and heal. What an annoying monstrosity. Oh, we can just basically get this going. Right, so he's stacked up, which is great. Let's get healing going. Let's get that A3. Kill frickin' Chris because he stole ally protection, didn't he? Okay. It's kind of fine. Mischief Head just being mischievous. That's kind of annoying, but it's okay. It's kind of annoying. It's also kind of annoying. The biggest problem is Chris does not have enough resistance, which is why the continuous heal stealing was a problem. Let's try to get Packmaster's A1 going. Nope. Okay, not that time. Right, let's get going. Come on. We need debuffs on this head. We're not going to get it in time, but... I always hate setting this team up a little bit because it is just about, like, trying to get rolling with things. Once the team is rolling, it's fine. Especially when I can't target the Mischief Head because he's just being annoying. Because every single time he's not getting cursed out. Now he's got cursed. Now I can actually target him. Get rid of the fear though. That's fine. Fear's gone. Lovely. Packmaster. Set it up. Now we can get going. I do want to make sure I get Wrath going a little bit. Okay, now we're good. I really hate the setup. Once the setup is in, we're good to go. Termite reduction. Perfectly done. Hex goes out over there. Get rid of that going. Okay, let's see what we can do. Full DPS mode is enabled. You start setting up that. No, we didn't get it. It's fine. Full dips. Here we go. Decrease speed out. Let's get block buffs out. Full damage. 2 million. 2.1. A boom, 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 boom. Someone asked earlier in chat, what are they using Quintus for? This is what we use Quintus for. Let's set up the next head, this one. What do we do? We set up that with Curse. Didn't get it that time, that kind of sucked, but hey. We extend the buffs. Got Cursed out, nice. Ally attack. Look how quickly we can ramp damage now. Boom, 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 boom. This team will be fine even after the changes, by the way. This team, I actually think Teox is the most reliable team after the changes because it's easily overkill damage. Right? Because that's the goal you've got here. You want to basically get a lot of overkill. The more overkill damage you get, the more valuable your team becomes. And only Teox can give you this much overkill in one ability. Other than Onryo and Trunda, right? It's all about overkill damage. The more overkill... It's not like the heads are going to take less damage when they're decapitated. This damage you're seeing here is the same damage I'm doing tomorrow. It's not going to change. The only thing that's going to change is when they respawn, I can't kill them directly. Right now, yeah? Right now I can basically kill them before they even have a chance to respawn. Like, look how much damage I'm doing here. So whilst the overall team damage is going to go down, I'll be able to still produce the same hits on the head in one go. And this is why overkill damage is really important. Because if you balance it correctly... I need to cleanse that life bar before he dies. The only thing that's going to be able to counter him with single target damage is someone like an Honorio, I think. Just heal him up to make sure he can't die. Extend the buffs. Just go on this head because it's strong affinity. But this team will work tomorrow. The amount of damage I'm dealing to this head will be the exact same damage that I deal tomorrow. The difference will be I'll just have less times when the heads are decapitating, is all. The balance of the team will be worse. The damage output will be worse. But that doesn't mean I won't get it won't be my best team, because it will. Boom, boom. Will block his damage. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if the head respawn is instant and it interrupts the ally attack, then yes. But I don't think Teox... Like, all you'll do is you'll just nerf Teox's damage slightly. Just make Teox hit less damage. So, just make it so that Teox does less damage overall, and then you have less of a problem, right? Because that's not going to break a head. 1.4 million to 1.2 million is not going to break a head. You're going to need like 7 million, 6 million. So I don't really see the problem. Right, it's only a problem if Teox kills the head with his 1A1. Well, if you just make Teox's A1 weaker, he doesn't kill the head, you get the full Quintus damage. Right? Because it won't interrupt Quintus's attacks. It'll interrupt the ally attack, but won't interrupt Quintus's attacks. Because Quintus' action is in flow. So I don't think it's a problem. No more poison cloud. Let's move this buff. Keep pumping damage over here. If you use an ally champion, that champion dies before your team gets a turn, what happens? If it's not AoE, it will stop the attacks. If it's AoE, the attacks will continue because you're attacking all enemies. Right? So, let's just do that. Reset turn meters. Let's get Packmaster going on you. Okay, we didn't get it. It's fine. So, which is my favorite Hydra team. This is my favorite one. Because it's the one I have the most fun playing. Because this is the only one that actually I feel like it's more interesting to play than the others. The others just feel boring. Damn. Because there's a mini challenge with this one is to try and get his passive Hex out on all these heads. It's a mini game, right? Because if I can get the passive out, great. But right now I can't because he's not high rolling. Need to high roll Master Hexer on it. Let's just set up this head. The crazy thing is I keep forgetting to book Quintus, so it's never really going to reach its full potential that it could have done before the changes. Which is a shame, but... You live with a bit of these. I still think he needs, like... It's not the right time to do it, though. I still think he needs, like, one more Nature's Wrath proc. No, so what I've done to make this work is Krisk is in Curse Set. The Packmaster's also in Curse Set, but Packmaster has Master Hexer. So there's always an opportunity that I can get Packmaster to extend the duration of it to 3 turns. See, now I've replaced the Hex, so now I'm going to get Packmasters all the time. You can't really go into this without having an AoE Hex. You just lose it. You lose too much value. Damn, that's what I didn't want to do. Didn't want to fear. So now I'm not going to get that. Typical. It's in the world. Nice, we've got Hex. Nice, I got feared instantly. Brilliant. Just love it. Oh, and I resisted. Fucking love this game sometimes. 3% did, and I bet it's fear. Oh, man. I hate this game sometimes. I got 3% did into a 50% fear, and now the cleanse comes in. Like, seriously. How absolute... And this is what I'm saying about Hydra. Bad things can happen. What they need to do is reduce the volume of RNG in this mode, and people will find it far more enjoyable. They don't find it enjoyable because situations like that can happen where I get 3% did, and now I've got to try and get consumption, and all these things are just annoying. Like, you know, these RNG parameters are very difficult to deal with at the best of times. Why are you making it even harder? Anyway. We missed 3%, did another debuff. Brilliant. It will be towards the end of the week when I have a chance to actually assess all the damage. Actually, I don't know because I'm pretty busy Friday. I don't know when I'll get time. We'll see what time I'm get back Friday, but I've got a pretty hectic day Friday, unfortunately. Why no protection per drag? I wanted to try and build in with more turns, to be honest, because I'm only really giving 1 buff. It's not like it's an insane buff. So I just felt I'd prefer... to me, it just felt better to have him in more turns. Like, he's faster, you know? Oh, come on, I was hoping for the Hex buff there. Save that because we'll need it next turn. Smash that. Get rid of that so we don't get reflects. You went Crushing Rend with Teox at a 5-star. Yes, I would suggest because I use him a little bit in arena, I've gone Cracking Roots. You could go Heaven Cast, would probably be better. Like, Rend is not going to be very helpful at 5-star. Even in arena, it just doesn't give you as much usage, you know. Set up the next head. Get Packmaster. There we go. Here we go. This is optimal. We've got an optimal setup here. We have Packmaster's Hex. We just need to now get some debuffs. Ally attack. Big damage coming out there. Lovely. Weak Affinity is not ideal, but hey. Kraken Roots does not, no. Kraken Roots bomb multipliers are only really affected by their attack multiplier or the HP multiplier that they're in. Like, if anything, what I would do is move this team to Nightmare. I'd move Theox to Nightmare because it means I can enable him easier, right? If anything, that's what I would change, so that the HP threshold of the decapitation is higher, which means it gives me more guarantees that I'm going to get the second ally attack from Theox. I don't think Theox dies. I think Theox survives. And my Nightmare team is already pretty strong, so I could move it down. I don't really like running... I'll be honest, I'm not a massive fan about running Marius outside of Nightmare, but could do it if I wanted to. Alaz is insane. He's probably the best defense-based damage dealer in PvE content. Harim is the best defense-based damage dealer in Arena, but in PvE content, there's no one that really out-damages Alaz from a defense basis. Crit damage. Da boom boom. Get rid of Poison Cloud. Well, we would have got rid of Poison Cloud. Based on when you place it, not when it explodes. It bases it, so the attack multiplier is carried from when you place it, not when you not when it activates. So if you had increased attack when you placed it, that's how much damage it will do. No, Alaz smashes Michinaki. Alaz is really, really strong. The only problem with Alaz is counterattack is a bit meh in Hydra, because if it gets stolen, you're in trouble, but nobody competes with Alaz for Hydra defense-based damage. He's so strong. I haven't pulled any yet. I haven't looked. I'll probably wait tomorrow and I'll probably do a bit of a video on it. If you just get him done, Wraith, it doesn't take long. YST was actually down in silver, and he's managed to get himself, I think, up to gold 2 in a couple of, like, basically 5 days. He just grounded out a bit. Honestly, right now, it's pretty easy to climb into, like, live, to gold live arena. It's not too difficult if you've got a decent account. And what I mean by decent is if you can build up a pretty comprehensive competitive team. It doesn't need to be, like, loads of options, right? You don't need to have, like, the world's largest collection of champions. If you can just find a good team that you can run reliably and consistently, you'll probably find that actually you can get into gold live arena pretty well. Once you get to gold 2, the game changes. But because everyone's like, all the big players and all the regular players have already got themselves up into live arena gold tier 2, 3 plus, it's kind of hard for you to ever drop down. So those players are just like there now, right? They're not gonna change. That was fun. Hopefully I don't kill him by doing this. Oh, good. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. It's just the thing about live arenas. It's one of the hardest places to decay, because even if you like deliberately lose, you don't really gain an awful lot by deliberately losing, because you can lose 10 in a row and then win 3 and you kind of like recover back to where you were, unless you're in like... It's just because you need like a 40% negative win-loss, right? You need a 40% win rate to decay. It just becomes incredibly hard to actually meaningfully decay unless you like lose 20 in a row. And at that point, why don't you just try to win? You know what I mean? It's like there comes a point in time when it's like it's not worth you losing. You might as well try to give it a go, because you might not win every single fight, but at least you'll win some of them. He's taking a bit of a hammer in. I need to get rid of that. I need to heal up my Krisk. He's taking a bit of a hammer in right now. There we go. But even then, decaying when you don't play, I barely do live arena. Like, I haven't had a chance to do it on stream. It's when I normally do it in a while. You know, even when you don't play the game, it still takes so long. Like, you don't start decaying until like 5 days from not playing, and then you lose like 5 points a day. Like, that's one loss. It's so small. It's not even a loss. It's like half a loss. It's really small. So it's super hard for you to just drop down. Even if you, like, you can lose 5 and win 5 and you will still be where you were at. So you just have to make the decision. I look at it and go, is it worth me trying to lose? And 9 times out of 10, it's like, no, right? 9 times out of 10, it's like, I might as well just give it a go. If I win, great. If I don't, I lose. What does it matter? You know, what's the end of the world? We don't actually know what's going to happen with Pinpoint after the event right now. But I'll be honest, I would imagine they'll put it in the event dungeon set just becomes Pinpoint gear. So every single time they have a new event, they'll just put Pinpoint gear available, you know? No, I probably won't do live arena today. I've still got to do another Hydra key after this. I don't think it'll be a Forge Pass, honestly. I think that, because, like, I think it was never meant to be. I think it will be the event dungeon set that you see every time the event dungeon comes out. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, when the new event dungeon comes out, unless they rotate the variable sets, which I can't imagine they'll do, they absolutely can't run another set. Right? So, because there's just no capacity for anyone to have another set right now. So to me, I think they'll just basically put the Pinpoint gear back in, and that will be known as the set that is used for the event dungeon. You're on the one for 30 fights. Yeah, I mean, it's not easy, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying that winning in live arena is super easy. I'm just saying that losing in live arena doesn't really get you anywhere. Unless you're on a cusp, right? If you're on a cusp of something, like say you can lose down into silver a bit, then maybe. But even then, it's super hard, super inefficient. I'd rather just, like, you know, fight it. Let's do that. Even how crazy people go there for the next time the event dungeons up. I mean, I could absolutely see them putting a different variable set in there and then rotating them. Like, maybe it puts Slayer in there instead next time, or maybe it puts, like, maybe Merciless or Supersonic. But I get the feeling that they'll convert that event, the event dungeon, into just like that's where you go get Pinpoint. Right, that's the Pinpoint dungeon. Man, I hate it with fears. Bump. Bump, 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 bump. Nice bit of damage. Somehow he still has fear from something. I don't really know what. Need to cleanse that away. No more fear. Oh, because he didn't take a turn. He took an ally attack, of course. He's at turn meter. Let's set it up. We need Packmaster's jobby in here. Packmaster, get your hex. Lovely. And let's go. I don't think they'll sell Pinpoint, and if they do, it'll be one of those terrible passes they sell. So So punctual. I knew what you meant, right? I know you meant pinpoint, right? Unless you meant punctual. What was the question? If punctual gear is limited, I'm guessing you meant pinpoint, right? I'm gonna assume that's what you meant. Yeah, I mean, the Slayer one would be the best one because that's the one that's really hard to get at the moment, and I feel like it's fine now that it's not a Forge Pass set. I feel like it's had enough times in the Forge Pass. But I wonder if they'll restrict Slayer ones because they like to use Slayer for the Deck of Fate. They like to use that as the premium set that you have to go farm from Deck of Fate and stuff like that. The ones that give you all those pieces. Wonder if they'll leave it like that, you know. The dual one, honestly, I think it's better than nothing, because obviously the big issue they had was the big issue they had at the moment, which is a problem, is of course how do you keep a rotation of Forge passes that isn't just like I only ever see Bolster once every blue moon. Right, because right now there's like 5 different Forge sets, so if you were to do it on rotation, you would basically never see one. You'd see one set per 5 months. So to do a dual pack does make sense, right? I think that is the right way to do it. Whether or not it works for people, like sometimes I pick it up, sometimes I didn't. I didn't this time because I feel like it's kind of hard to value any set other than variable sets these days, because those variable sets are basically everywhere now. I don't really see the need. Like, I personally don't see much value in anything other than a variable set for my level of account. Right, the Supersonics and the Ferals and the Pinpoints give you the best speed in the game. So, why would I pick a speed set over these sets that give me extra bonuses? Merciless is the best damage set in the game. Slayer is the best AoE damage set in the game. Feral's the best debuffing set in the game. You've got Pinpoint is kind of like the second best arena set after Stone Skin. Stone Skin's the best arena set. Protection's the best damage boosting set. You know what I mean? It's like, tell me a set that isn't better than a variable set these days. Holy crap, the damage is insane. Holy, like Quintus just did 11 million damage with 1A1. He just did 11 million damage with 1A1. Like, oh my lord. Yeah, Bolster's probably the only Forge Pass set that you could make an argument for, because it does give you the shield that no other variable set gives you. My Quintus just built in full damage, like I think it's a Merciless. Honestly, Quintus is only a 1-star. Or did I get a 2-star on him? Quintus might be a 2-star now, because I think I got a 2-star on him, so he's pumping more damage. But I forgot to book his A1. So he could be hitting harder. The end of this, Quintus's damage will be 10% down on what it should be, because I didn't book him yet. Which is a shame. Full damage, 1.3 mil. A boom, 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 boom. Da bum, 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 bum. Something enjoyable about watching a Quintus work. Not if you're going to use him in this team. Although I will say his A2 and his A3 hits quite hard. I kind of appreciate it. And I do use his A2 and his A3 quite a bit. I use his A2 to set up his Nature's Wrath, and I use his A3 to give him increased crit damage. So he does pay you to get some more damage on those other abilities if you're going to use them in this setup here, right? I mean, look how much damage he's pumping out. It's just insane. Like this. Right now, I don't have increased crit damage, so I will use it here to give him increased crit damage, because that will boost the damage further. Should have A1 tacked on there. Stupid. Because now I've got to try and get Master Hexer on. Set the head up over there. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Look Look at 1.5 million on a single hit. Should have hit that head over there. That was stupid. So much damage. Even without Teox's A1 is doing like 4 million damage. This is a team I'm sad I'm losing because... I say losing. Sad is going to do this little damage because... it is the fun one. This is the one I enjoy the most. Because, okay, it's strong, but it's not like it's crazy strong. It's not going to be a Tashiro, for example. That team's mental. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. And you would time it correctly, right? You've got to be careful, though, because like someone pointed out earlier, I think Sono pointed out correctly. If your Teox kills the head, then you won't get the ally attack. So you gotta choose wisely. As long as you choose wisely, it should work absolutely fine, right? As long as you balance and manage it correctly. Maybe you need to nerf your Teox a little bit to make sure that your secondary damage dealer does a good job. But as long as you time it correctly so the head is still alive when you can get the ally attack, you'll get the full ally attack then. Okay, this is kind of bad. I don't really want to kill my Teox. God alive, when that life barrier comes out, sometimes it scares the hell out of me. Oof. Any reason not to summon souls today? Nope. No reason at all. The event is up, so you might as well run it. Let's just get that some debuffs. Like, the biggest thing I think that Hydra's going to experience is I think all the auto teams are going to really struggle. If I was to say the one thing that I think is going to cause the most impact is I think auto teams will struggle. Because I think there's going to be a level of variability that you can't avoid now. Because I think with auto teams, you were still killing the heads whilst they were having the suffering will and stuff. I feel like auto teams are just going to be in a very bad way. Right, I feel like they're just going to be struggling. Oh man, he's 3%ed again. I'm gonna get cleanse, it's fine. Yeah, I never wail on them. But I killed my crits because he stole ally protection. No. No. I'm not restarting. I'm not restarting. I'll just get the highest damage. I mean, I'm doing the highest damage in my clan. I can't do everything. It's just lost me my AoE hex. Stupid steal, honestly. I wasn't paying attention. Annoyed. No, I run that in my nightmare team. This team is pretty much done for now. We'll probably be able to get 1 billion, but this team can only do 2 billion and I messed it up. I'm not restarting. I haven't got time. Stole the ally protection, man. I wasn't paying attention. It's rough. I'm doing this key tomorrow. Like, guys, this team is not changing. This is still going to be my best team on my account for this difficulty. This will perform absolutely strong tomorrow. It's not going to change anything. The worst part is I need him to hit I need him to hit the Packmaster, or I need Packmaster to RNG some Hex, and he's not RNGing any Hex, is he? Because he's not that clever. Okay, we got some good damage. Nice, we got lucky there. Got rid of it. It sucks, but never mind. Yep. Trunda to be viable. Get some Hex. No. I'm so annoyed by that. I really am. Oh, and she's 3% in decreased defense, I think. Or something. I don't really know. Just means I need to be a little bit more mindful of mechanics here now. I'm going to get a cleanse in a moment, which is going to make that Wrath Head a real scary moment, probably. It's fine. Can survive that. There's no point doing that right now, because we're going to get cleansed in a moment, so let's just try and get Hex over here. Lady Mikagi's in my Nightmare team. Okay, it's 2 heads, so I won't get a cleanse. We still keep hitting this, because it's the most damage we can do. Are we going to kill that Wrath Head? Nearly. That sucks. Oh, come on! Ah! Stupid Wrath Head. Oh, there's Teox gone. Oh well. This team is fine. It's because I lost Chris. I made a mistake. I killed my own team. This team can normally do like 2 billion. I'm not restarting. I don't have time. It's got to be done. Like, it's 1:40 in the morning. I'm not restarting. I haven't done my Nightmare key yet. No, I can still get a couple of 100 million. A couple of, like, million, sorry, not 100 million. Like, Quintus's damage is pretty strong. I can still get, like, 1 million or 2 out. Well, it wasn't the Krisk that was the problem, Mark. Someone lost their ally protection, and that's what killed him. So he basically died from the AoE. There's nothing I do with that. I should just not AoE'd. As long as you single target, it's never a problem. I'm just tired. I wasn't paying attention. That's the difference. I just wasn't paying attention. Otherwise, I would have noticed what I was doing, and I would not have allowed it. Oh! Nasty damage. Right, does this... No. So we just hit this for some bonus damage. So I can still like chip away, get a little bit more damage. It's okay. It's not great, but it'll do. That fear was not great. Neither was that. Let's take those buffs. See, normally Packmaster would be the taunt target anyway, but I'm never really using his A2. They're trying very hard to kill Quintus. They're failing miserably, but they're trying. Oh, man, I really could have used the Hex set there, not gonna lie. Probably over now, so they've stolen buffs. Oh, well, not to the end of worlds. I gotta heal, it'd be great. Yeah. Yay, we got the hex. We got the hex. There's hope. It's very small hope. We got the hex. We can actually do damage. Yes. I actually forgot to put I actually forgot to kind of put him in enough resistance as well. Packmaster. Yes. The four musketeers are doing the work here right now. Quintus is just like, I can get us closer to this 900 million, guys. I got you. You don't need anyone else. I got you covered. There's a reflect. If I counterattack that head decapitate, I'll get rid of that. Nice. So we don't get that anymore. Make sure we get this going. Ally attack. Oh. Carnage Withbook. I think he's the best debuff spreader. I think he's one of the best auras for arena. I think if you get a 5-star soul on him eventually, I think he's a very, very strong damage dealer. He's not like he's not gonna break any records, but he's absolutely he's a viable nuker. He does a lot. His A3, if you can get it spread across to everyone, is kind of annoying. I'll be honest. It's very hard to fight against. Well, we hit 900 million at least. It's not where I'd like it to be, but let's get 8 week going. Like, it's not like I know it's gonna do like 2 billion, but it's better than nothing at this point. We're gonna wipe here right now because we've had a full cleanse. There's nothing I can do to stop the nuke coming in. There we go. He's got a lot of continuous heals on him right now, so he should get a nice chunky heal. Stop the provoke. Nice, the hacks. Let's go boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we need to update that. But the problem is he's only good somewhat in a Teox team. So it's kind of like these ratings. I mean, we are planning to do a full rating overhaul anyway, because obviously the game has changed over the years. New things have been added, new champion power creep. What previously was 5-star, 6-star, 5-star, 4-star, maybe those now are not really the same tier as other 5-stars. So there is a plan. There is a, what do they say? The game is afoot to rework some of the, not so much rework, but just kind of like take a look at the ratings and basically think like, you know, what is a 5-star, what is a 6-star, what is a 4-star, what is a 5-star these days, based on the, you know. The big picture. Really? Get rid of that. I mean, we're doing good damage even when we've lost 2 of the team. It's holding on. So we're just adding a little bit here or there, just trying to get as much damage as I can in. Packmaster, get the hex going. Lovely. So I prioritize cooldowns when I'm booking. So cooldowns first more than anything else is the most important thing. Then you kind of want damage for some things. It is handy to have ignore resistance for the debuff spreading. Yeah, we need to do the updates for those. Honestly, I've been kind of waiting. I was going to do it today, but I was like, well, if they're going to update the game tomorrow and they're going to rebalance Trunda as well, I might as well do it all in one go. So I'm kind of waiting for that, and I'll do all the updates tomorrow, all in a single go. Let's go to these poisons. Heal up. Boom, 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 boom. It's a real shame, this team. I just didn't want to restart because I lost half an hour. I'm not going to restart. Honestly, I don't think there's enough in the clan to be able to get second or first anyway, because I'd need to have someone else in the clan that's willing to drop like 15 bill, and it's just not going to happen at this later time. So... yeah, but it's difficult, right? So the key thing that you need to remember about the rating system is we don't want the ratings to become like, oh, I need like an index to understand what it means, because then you've kind of defeated the point of the rating system. The whole point of the rating system is meant to be for you to go in and go, okay, on a quick glance, how good are they? Any kind of like in-depth analysis, then you get into the point of what's the point of a quick summary rating of some sort. Like, you're basically then explaining why it's good. The rating is meant to just kind of categorize it. So these are the debates we have all the time somewhat. Is like, how does it compare and contrast against the big picture of things? You know, all of these are things that are problematic for us. Oh, yay. Didn't get that out in time, did I? It's gonna heal. Man alive. Kill it before it heals fully. Wow, he needs a cleanse. Right, one down. See, if I'd ended, we would have been 50 mil less than what we could have got. And we're still not done yet. We can still do more. Do not AoE. We got to reflect right now. The last thing we should be doing is freaking AoEing or anything. Already did that mistake once. I mean, it's not going to be anywhere near how good it could have been. It could have been 2 billion, this key. But it is better than what we had. And it would have been Krisk of all things to lose. So this is only going to be doing like probably 2.8 billion when it could have done like a heck of a lot more. Riho's back out. We're holding on. Just about. Barely holding on. Cleanse all out of the way. Give us a boost. So get our block buffs out. Heal it up. I have no idea what it's going to hit. It's going to hit everything. Kind of hit the right head though. Well, that's ripperoni. Don't think he's coming back from this now unless I got to heal. Nope. He's on his deathbed. Oh, he's been provoked. No, Quintus. It's all right. We're still going. He's still going. Somehow this is still going. I'm not entirely sure how. But it is still alive. Oh, now we're in trouble. It's the worst head to have. Oh, now we're in super trouble. Okay, we've got decreased defense. Ally attack. Can we get this out with just Riho DPS? That's the question. Is Riho DPS good enough to get us out of this? It's going to be close. Come on. Come on, Riho. Yes, she is. She did it. Okay, now we're just running out of momentum, but hey. Oh, she nearly killed herself then. Quintus is dead, by the way. Now it's done. Not bad. We recovered to 950 at least, but... You know... Losing Krisk was a bit of a disaster. This can do like 2 billion. Or it could. It won't do 2 billion anymore. Never mind. Like, we're just so far away, it wouldn't matter. Honestly, we're so far away, it wouldn't matter. So we'll take third. Third's not terrible. Right, third we pick up this chest. Better than nothing. It's not that much different. Just gonna bash out a quick nightmare key now. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, actually. Thank you. Let me just check the AI, though. First, second. Always want that. I never want you to change, really. Good call, Jano. Thank you so much for getting me that badge. That's exactly what I want to do. Yeah, I did a call out with the clan to see if they were pushing, but nobody really mentioned anything, so... It's just one of those things, you know? It is what it is. Yeah, and to be honest, this is the one team that I would say, out of all my 3 teams, this is the one team that probably is the safest. The only risk that this team has is there's no block buff. So if there's a reflect, I'm kind of like stuffed. But even then, Sulfurion is such a beast. Like he can, like I can take this. I can take a full whack from a increased attack Wrath Head, and I probably don't die because Sulfurion is just a monster. And then when you've got Marius doing his thing, it's like, look at it. It's just, everything's dead. Now, the only downside is Sulfurion is dumb. Like, why isn't he attacking a burn head? Like, why is he A1 in the head that isn't under burn? That's stupid. But hey. Oh my god. He just did 600k AoE A1s. This is, by the way, not fully boosted Marius because I haven't switched his boots yet. Still need a bit more dust to be able to get him back to speed boots, but... Hey, look, we one keyed. So I'll just leave this on auto and see what I can do. If it gets turned a bit, it does. There we go, guys. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for hanging out, as always. The last Hydra runs we had to do. We're going to get back after this to less Hydra content. Although we'll probably do like Thursday stream, I don't know, because I got some commitments I have to do. I don't know what time I'll be back. If I'm back in time and I can do everything, Friday we'll do a bit of a review of where we're at with Hydra. See if anything needs to change. We'll get more an idea of how Hydra's changed. I'll be able to run my Trunda team to see if it's actually true or not. And then we're going to go back to focusing on more important things. Like, you know, we'll probably go back to doing some tag team focus. Maybe some more focus on different arena comps. We'll have the Halloween fusion in a couple of weeks as well, which would be interesting. We'll see where we're going. Yeah, it's got events coming to an end. So yeah, that's what we'll try and get back to. But anyway, guys. I'll catch you next stream. Have a nice evening.